It's Christmas night on a Thursday night, and you know what that means. A special edition of AEW Christmas Collision is alive here tonight with us at the Memo Studios as it's do or die in the Gold League, and we see who joins Konosuke Kazuchika in the Blue League as our semifinals will be set up for tonight's action here as we bring you in once again to AEW Christmas Collision. Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas to you all this fine eve. The Seminole Foster with Walter Cruz, Mr. Reliable, the American Wrestling JJ Williams here once again, bringing you continued coverage of the Continental Classic all the way through and to World's End. Thank you for tuning in, whether live or on demand. Please like, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. You want to take to the conversation, super chat, as simple as that. Again, tonight it is do or die for everyone in the Gold League. Konosuke Kazuchika has claimed his spot in the semifinals no matter what. Whether he's top seed or second seed comes down to what Claudio, Castagnoli, and the others do, since Konosuke Takeshita has the tiebreaker over Máscara, Dorada, and Roderick Strong. As we head right inside the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City. Of course, you can watch them with us on TNT or HBO Max. Hope that you all have had the most wonderful of holidays. You and your family got all the gifts you could get. That being said, gentlemen, good to see you all. Merry Christmas to you both and your families. Let's get ready to go right into the night's action. How are we feeling?
I'm feeling
good.
I'm stuffed is what I'm feeling.
Well, buckle up because we got 2.5 hours tonight of professional wrestling action. Aubrey Everett's in the ring, and we're kicking things off with the protostar Kyle Fletcher and Jungle Jack Perry. Let's get right into the action.
7 matches tonight, 6 matches for the Continental Classic. Everybody's having their final match tonight. As you mentioned, 6-way tie in the Gold League. Going to be a very interesting evening, to say the very least.
And to your point, the protostar Kyle Fletcher, who won his block last year ahead of the semifinals. Again, it is do or die for everyone in the Gold League as we have a 6-way tie at 6. Kyle Fletcher's final match tonight will be against Jungle Jack Perry. This is the first time ever one-on-one encounter as Jack Perry has rebounded from a 0-2 deficit on a 2-0 winning streak. If Jungle Jack Perry beats Kyle Fletcher will be eliminated, and Jack Perry will have to see how everyone else does as he is on life support still, but keeps his hopes alive like everyone else in the Gold League.
Jack Perry on a 2-match winning streak, Kyle Fletcher on a 2-match losing streak.
Exactly.
Roderick Strong is the only one that can play spoiler to anybody today, to be honest.
And to your point, again, tonight will be a combination of both Gold League and Blue League action. Again, folks, this is the Continental Classic. This is a pure singles action tournament. No seconds allowed at ringside. 20-minute timer, 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw. Everyone is banned from ringside. If anyone gets involved, they are fired from AEW. As everyone waves their arms, of course, to another melody of the holidays in Tarzan Boy as Jungle Jack Perry keeps his hope alive after beating the Boston Pac last night and giving us this unbelievable, one-of-a-kind 6-way tie. And I still blame
the tie
you,
that
JJ.
I predicted, mind you.
Yeah, I blame you, by the way, for putting this in existence. As again, folks, there you see the leaderboard. It is a dead heat. Tiebreakers are going to be critical here tonight for anybody that wins in the Gold League. Pretty much you lose, you might as well kiss yourselves goodbye. Again, Jack Perry, of course, as we talked about, beating both Speedball Mike Bailey and the Bastard Pac on his way here to his pre-ultimate chance to make it to the semifinals. And, of course, the semifinals will be top seed of the gold, face runner-up of the blue, top seed of the blue, face runner-up of the gold. And that will culminate in our finals, all at World's End. Bell rings, and our final night of round-robin Continental Classic action officially begins.
Win or lose this match, Kyle Fletcher is a winner because he gets to go home to Sky Blue.
They hear AEW chants running out loud and proud from the Hammerstein Ballroom capacity crowd on hand. Again, thank you all for tuning in. You can be part of the conversation using hashtag AEW Collision, a special 2.5-hour Christmas collision tonight. Our final stop before our World's End this Saturday night, the final pay-per-view of the calendar year 2026. Continental Tires will kick things off here.
When you think about it, Perry has nothing to lose because he wasn't even supposed to be.
And to your point, Walter, he has everything to gain, and that could make him very dangerous here. As you see the standings again at the bottom of your screen, again, the Gold League, though, it doesn't become more obvious. Kazuchika Okada, reigning defending Continental Classic champion, 6 points. Kyle Fletcher handing Okada his first loss and getting his first win, also stands at 6 points. Speedball Mike Bailey, Jungle Jack Perry, the Bastard Pac, and Kevin Knight, of course, Jet Speed, Kevin Knight, Speedball Mike Bailey, all at 6 points as well. And Speedball Mike Bailey will be the final match of Kazuchika Okada's run. Shoulder block as Jack Perry's pushed down. And of course, I talked about in the blue league, Konosuke Takeshita is a lock no matter what at 10 points because he has the tiebreaker over both Máscara Dorada win or lose tonight, as well as win over Roderick Strong after Claudio Castagnoli went to a draw. Both right now getting a little bit of a stare down here. We consider again how it is for the whole league. There is no second chance if you lose. And that has to be on everyone's mind tonight. Jack Perry and Kyle Fletcher starting off slow here, looking for the single leg drop. And I do wonder here, what is going to be Jack Perry's strategy? Because I got to consider, JJ, Jack Perry is going to try and protect that ankle. You see Kyle Fletcher immediately going after that left ankle. That's already been exploited by Pac and Speedball Mike Bailey ever since he's been in the Continental Classic.
You got to figure, as much as Jack Perry wants the dub here, it would probably behoove him to just eat the L because Kyle Fletcher is going to zone in on it. He's going to target it. He's going to work it. And then if Perry wins, he still has to wrestle potentially 2 matches at World's End.
And Kyle Fletcher, like a shark that smells blood in the water, seeking his prey immediately on the attack on that left ankle, zoning in on his target. And to your point, Kyle Fletcher, if nothing else is driving him, it's the fact that he wants to make it this time to the finals. Last year, he made it to the semifinals and lost to Will Ospreay. As you see him right now, exploiting the entire ring to his advantage, hyperextending that ankle across the bottom rope up to, of course, the referee's 5 count. Now, again, folks, go ahead, Walter.
Is there added pressure for Fletcher because he doesn't want to be the first person in the Condas family to get eliminated?
Oof. Well, to your point, Don Callis has 3 dogs in this fight in the Continental Classic. Kyle Fletcher, Konosuke Takeshita, and of course, reigning and defending Continental Classic champion Kazuchika Okada. But it was Kyle Fletcher that says, I'm going to prove a point against you, both my so-called friends, because I'm entering the Continental Classic. Not to mention, he's coming off losing his TNC championship at Full Gear. Single leg crab apply to Jack Perry as Jack Perry immediately finds saving grace for the ropes for the time being. And thank you, by the way, to Alicia, Lone Star Friend, Bullet Man, and everyone else that are tuning in with us right now. Again, I hope that you've had the most wonderful, humble, and joyous of Christmases with your families and friends.
Fletcher took full advantage of that 5 count at the ropes, by the way.
It's interesting seeing Kyle Fletcher go for a submission because Kyle Fletcher is more so not a person of technique, as we've seen him finish opponents with that Protostar Brainbuster. Again, an ankle lock applied here. Vicious ankle lock, twisting and torquing the ankle. Jungle Jet Perry stomping away at the Achilles.
Yeah, he's more of a pure brawler than a technician.
Of course, Jack Perry loves that running forward knee strap, but we've also seen Jack Perry pick up his last 2 wins via a small package roll-up.
Just because Fletcher is notably more of a brawler and not as much of a technician doesn't mean he's not going to go submission style when you got a weak limb like that.
And JJ, to your point, adaptation is key in the Continental Classic. This round-robin marathon of endurance.
What's smart about it is, if you think about it, JJ, if you're scouting for Fletcher, you don't scout for submissions. If he starts pulling that out of nowhere, now that you surprise someone, then you can get a surprise victory.
Jack Perry taking Kyle Fletcher over on the outside with the Tijeras, hobbling, but somehow standing on both his legs on the apron. Aubrey Everett's calling both men to get back in the ring. Again, folks, 20-minute timer is in play. A draw will allow both these men to advance at 7 points and keep both their hopes alive as Jack Perry planted on the apron with a power bomb.
You got to think about how much time everybody takes in preparation of their opponent. And if you to defend brawling and he starts popping out with submissions, then he can shock you very easy.
Well, talk about shock to Jack Perry's body. Look at the replay here. The same move that has injured Adam Cole, as we know, and Daniel Garcia for a point. Apron bomb to the spine, and that's got to be ringing through the body of Jungle Jack Perry. Kyle Fletcher now in full control of his opponent, bringing him back inside the ring. And of course, testament to Jack Perry, as we talked about before, he was not an original participant. He, of course, earned the opportunity to compete where we left off with Darby Allin. And has made the most of it. And Jack Perry biting the pectoral, forcing his way out, as much as a savage can. We've seen him do that against all his opponents at one point. Now trying to chop down Kyle Fletcher, who hoists Jack Perry up. Oh, man.
And you kind of got to wonder, if Perry had been in this from the jump, would he have 9 points? He came in here at a 3-point disadvantage because Darby had already lost a match. Could Perry have won that match?
Yeah, we'll never know. But again, JJ, everybody easily here could have just gotten 3 extra points. They could have not had to fight an extra opponent. Jack Perry was granted this opportunity. And again, he's made the most of it. You talked about the tail of the tape yourself. 0-2 to 2-0, and it is do or die for both. And you see Aubrey Edwards right now trying to bring Jack Perry inside the ring by Kyle Fletcher.
Why is he loosening
exposing. Well, obviously, he wants to expose the muscles and tendons in Jack Perry's prone ankle. Even Aubrey Edwards saying, what the hell?
Oh, that's right. I thought he trapped the hurt ankle. That's not the hurt ankle he trapped.
Correct. But he does have Jack Perry trapped in the steel ring steps. The other ankle and leg pinned inside.
Ew!
Well, I mean, that's not sanitary. Oh, but that stomp to the bare bone is damn sure going to be affecting the steel ring steps.
Well, with what he did with other people's blood and everything and putting stuff in, a sock is the least of the Fletcher's worried.
A sick bastard might have to be 9-9 to advance to World's End. Will it happen? Stay tuned. Wrestling Clive Picture in Picture if you're on Sling with Us or HBO Max. Full commercial. Fuck television. Again, Jack Perry's bone exposed. A stomp literally on the bare foot. I could literally fracture his ankle. You see Doc Simpson right now checking him. And theoretically, if Jack Perry can't continue, Kyle Fletcher could win here and get 3 points via forfeit. Referee stoppage. Of course, we talked about still to come tonight. This is our final Continental Classic round robin tournament matches. Konosuke and Takeshita will take on Máscara, Dorada. Claudio Castagnoli will take on Roderick Strong, ROH represent. All Roderick Strong can do at this point is play spoiler. Remember, it was last year's Continental Classic, the final match that eliminated Claudio Castagnoli from the entire tournament. The Bastard Pac will take on Kevin Knight, who looks jet to fly after shocking the world, being the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada, as again, the Gold League is do or die. And outside Continental Classic action, we have the Babes of Wrath in tag team action, taking on Hyan and Maya World.
Babes of Wrath. Babes of Wrath.
And our main event tonight will culminate in a renewed rivalry as Fred Screen Jordan's Cassidy goes one-on-one against the inaugural Continental Classic finalist, John Moxley of the Death Riders. And of course, Speedball Mike Bay will take on reigning and defending Continental Classic champion and AEW Unified champion, Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada for the second time ever in singles action, a rematch from Double or Nothing. We are loaded here tonight with single exhibitions and a tag team showcase that will bring a smile to anybody's face. And it's Kyle Fletcher right now with a high angle single leg crab on the prone injured Achilles of Jack Perry, sitting flat on his body in the middle of the ring. Jack Perry trying to garner some leverage, keeping his body off the mat, crawling his way towards the ropes again. And I do wonder, though, even though Kyle Fletcher is focusing, exploiting on that single injury, if he only focuses on that, could that be an Achilles later? Again, we talked about Jack Perry's strategy. He's literally won with nothing but inside cradle roll-ups. Again, though, still hard to...
Guess we'll have to find out.
Well, again, the clock will be playing against these men sooner rather than later. I don't know if either one of you had your stopwatch out, but we've got to be getting close to at least half of the time limit. Again, folks, Konosuke Takeshita is a lock no matter what. He will either be top seed or second seed, thanks to the fact he has 10 points and the tiebreaker over Roderick Strong, whether or not Máscara Dorada beats him. Gold League, though, it is literally do or die. Too many possibilities with tiebreakers, draws, etc. We may not even get a singles match at World's End in the freaking semifinals for the Gold League. They might do blue on blue if we have a unique three-way situation. To JJ's point, because again, There is no 0 hour of wrestling this Saturday. It is a pure pre-show as we're back here at AEW Christmas Collision for the Gold League.
We didn't have any time limit draws, did we?
We've had one time limit draws the entire
one,
tournament,
yeah.
while other matches were close to 30 seconds to a draw. And the only time limit draw, drop kick, was Konosuke Takeshita and Claudio Castagnoli, the reigning defending CMLL Men's World Champion and the current IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. A heck of an effort, though. A lot of heart being shown here by Jungle Jack Perry since his return to a good moral code back at AEW All Out, reuniting with his dinosaur. But again, that drop kick, how much damage did it do with Jack Perry there? Especially now that he's kicking literally with his bare foot. You see the way that he's not even holding down a vertical base with that bare foot right now, guys. Irish whip. Ooh, that was not a smart move. Landed awkwardly still on that ankle. Rebound lariat wipe out Kyle Fletcher. The former TNT champion, might I add. 2 former TNT champions, might I add. See Kyle Fletcher, though, smart, going on the outside, trying to regroup and find his bearings. Jack Perry right now literally on life support. Now trying for something big here with the baseball slide. Cazadora. Bulldog on the floor. You gotta admire Jack Perry's resilience here, guys, for sure.
100%.
JJ, you're the living embodiment of Christmas spirit. Christmas does have miracles. Jack Perry is looking for one, looking for that tope Susina DDT. Kyle Fletcher catching him, though, hoisting him up. Brain Buster on the apron! Or ramp, excuse me. Damn! And Aubrey right now checking to see if Jack Perry's even conscious to continue. Take a look at the replay here, guys. And of course, that's not a flat surface. And no give whatsoever on the walkway.
Nope, not at all.
Unforgiving, relenting wood with a very thin tarp versus the canvas that the ring has. And of course, Kyle Fletcher has one of the strongest win-loss records this year, only behind Takeshita. Oh, that might be it. Mitsunoku driver to advance up on the block, and at 2.5. Grit
It's
on
all
Jack
these
Perry.
2 men, Sandy. That's why we're here. These 2 men above me.
Hey, you don't count yourself out of this either, JJ. You're as much as part of this reliable coverage of what we do here, demonstrating the pursuing passion that we continue to progress here at the Super Level Studios for all things wrestling more than anybody else. Again, we do this for all the biggest shows, pay-per-view specials and PLEs for WWE, NXT, AEW, ROH, TNA, NJPW, and other promotions, of course. Went for that flying leg lariat and connects in the corner. And of course, we'll be back tomorrow covering Boxing Day Brawl for Ring of Honor and so much more. Before Sleeping Disney World's End, please stay tuned. And now Kyle Fletcher looking for something huge out of the corner here. Possibly that Protostar Brainbuster top turnbuckle. Jack Perry trying to fight back. Again, we see Kyle Fletcher win a lot of matches with that move, especially out of the corner. What the hell is Jack Perry looking for here? And it's something like power bomb up and over goes Kyle Fletcher.
Desperation move by Jungle Jack, but he can't capitalize.
And both men down right now. Take a look at the replay here, Walter, and watch the way Kyle Fletcher lands on his head and turns over.
Concussion. That could have caused a serious concussion.
Again, the lead of the Gold League, your spot potentially in the semifinals, hangs in the balance tonight. And Jack Perry determined, looking for that knee strike. Kyle Fletcher catching him on the run. And again, a stomp to the exposed ankle and immediately back to the single leg crab. And a high angle lion tamer with his boot on the back of the head of Jack Perry, applying as much pressure as possible. Now joint manipulation on the toes and changing position. Again, Jack Perry so close to the ropes, reaching out with one finger. Kyle Fletcher, great awareness, though, drawing him back towards center. Jack Perry able to turn his body, looking for the up kicks. And now stomping on the chest, trying to literally stop the heart of Jack Perry. Wait a minute, he got caught. The ankle picked by Jack Perry, though, turning him over. Kyle Fletcher in the snare trap. And look at the face of panic on Kyle Fletcher right now. Lily Chapel, Kyle Fletcher kisses hopes goodbye. You see the discoloration, you see the rage, you see the defiance in the protostar. Trying to drag Jack Perry's way to the bottom rope. He might be going out here. Is Jack Perry going to pull an upset? Oh, and came back by one finger to force the break. As this match goes on.
That was close.
Talk about literally by the skin of your teeth, proverbially.
Right.
And the defiance, JJ, the middle finger. As Kyle Fletcher remains alive in this match. Both men do.
Oh, come on. I don't want another tie, man.
Again, all 12 men vying to be part of the semifinals. Only one has no chance, unfortunately, but could play a big spoiler towards who leads into the Blue League. As we look at the Gold League here with Jack Perry and Kyle Fletcher meeting in center, exchanging elbows. Single leg kick. First kick by Jack Perry. Kyle Fletcher rebounds up the ropes. Looks for a lariat. Jack Perry rebound lariat. Kyle Fletcher hooking him, though. Half and half. Jack Perry on his feet. Kyle Fletcher falling again with the flying leg kick. And again, hoisting up Jack Perry. Uh-oh. Perry's out. Oh, wait, reversal!
Come on.
And somehow sends Kyle Fletcher up and over out of the attempted Liger bomb. Critical moment for Jack Perry, looking to hoist up Kyle Fletcher. Got him up vertically. Pile driver!
Oof.
Break the arm cover to Jack Perry. No!
Oh.
Oh, so that was close.
Hella close.
What the hell is it going to take her? Our first matchup tonight, by the way.
Right? This is just the beginning.
We got less than 2 minutes left in this match, by the way, guys. Less than 2 minutes left. Jack Perry, once again, channeling Kyle Fletcher for that knee. With the reversal of the rope. This is the same way Kazuchika Okada, too. Jack Perry able to escape. A swing and a miss. Cazadora, rope for by Jack Perry. Shoulders down. Kyle Fletcher escapes. The match keeps going on. Jack Perry rebound. Live the one down by Kyle on the run-in. And now Kyle hoisting up Perry on the top turnbuckle. Looking for, again, that Protostar Brainbuster. As a headbutt, though, by Jack Perry sends Kyle up and over, down to the middle. Less than 90 seconds to go. Jack Perry once again to the top rope. Kyle Fletcher with a precision kick to that ankle.
Right on the ankle.
60 seconds. 60 seconds remaining. Another flying kick connects in the corner. Kyle Fletcher holds up Jack Perry. Brainbuster! Cover! 2, and the Protostar takes the lead.
Yeah, that was a good match. That's just the opening, y'all.
Well, congratulations to Kyle Fletcher, who remains very much alive, taking the first win tonight in the Gold League and heading up to 9. Why, Jungle Jack Perry, you might as well kiss him out of this tournament. Goodbye. Still to come tonight, Kevin Knight in pocket, Speedball my feeling, Kazuchika Okada. And remember, Kyle Fletcher has the tiebreaker over Kazuchika Okada. Speedball my belly has the tiebreaker over Kyle Fletcher. So it's going to be very critical to see what happens during that match.
Bro, there was like 52 seconds left.
At least. As we go backstage to Roderick Strong, who was with Renee Paquette earlier today. Woo. Wait, someone wanted to speak with him. Kyle! Oh, wait. Kyle!
Different Kyle. Oh, God. Don't bring me back to the match of the Kyles.
That was an awesome match. Kyle Riley empowering Roderick Strong. saying that you never doubted me for a second. And of course, he talked about how he found some blood and guts. Well, he's got a fractured arm, a bad neck. There's Roderick Strong pushed Kyle Riley to be the wrestler yesterday. And Kyle reminding Roderick Strong, the collaboration are your friends. You know, close to skimming up with those mentions, John. Let's say a Christmas miracle. I mean, again, we could talk about Clark Snow and Roderick Strong since we're going all the way back to Ring of Honor. It's the man that I see. Roderick Efton Strong. Well, if that's not pep talk, I don't know what is. Coming up next, the Alpha Konosuke Takeshita takes on Máscara Dorada when we come back to Christmas Collision as we go to full commercial break. Fuck television.
We see Máscara already get miracle wins that we ain't think he was going to get. So,
and again, last year it was a luchador that was Claudio Castagnoli's undoing in Commander. Máscara Dorada could play spoiler to Konosuke being the front runner. Again, Konosuke is a lock no matter what because he has tiebreakers. But will he be top seed or second seed? If Máscara Dorada beats Konosuke Takeshita, that gives Claudio Castagnoli and others a very realistic chance.
It's going to be crazy.
It's going to be a crazy night. I'm glad to see everybody tuning in that are in it for the long haul of us tonight here at Christmas Collision. Again, we just had our first match as Kyle Fletcher now ascends to 9 points, JJ. But again, JJ, there was less than a minute left. Woof.
Yeah, we've had a few different close calls here in the C2 tournament. Yeah. I expect at least one more tonight.
So why don't we go ahead and look at the JJ premonition machine, shall we? So JJ, let's talk more about the Gold League. As we know, Kyle Fletcher now has 9. Jeff Perry's on life support are virtually eliminated. You got the Bastard Pop versus Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight, who gave us a shocker being Kazuchika Okada, while the Bastard Pac lost to Okada. Out of Kevin Knight versus Pac, who's your winner out of that match?
I got to go with the Bastard.
Do tell.
I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I feel like the Bastard is just the superior competitor in this. Now, I've been made a fool of a couple times between the C2. Yes. I've been made to eat crow.
Yes.
I very easily could end up eating crow here one more time.
Yes.
But I feel like the Bastard has to be the lock here. And then we get the possibility of having the Bastard versus Claudio or the Bastard versus Mox for the semifinals.
Yes, Death Riders. Of course, Claudio Castagnoli, as we know, beat John Moxley, and of course, his second match of his run. And of course, looking more at the Gold League, though, reigning and defending Continental Classic champion Kazuchika Okada goes 1-1 against Speedball Mike Bailey, a person that he has beaten before. We've already seen Okada upset by Kevin Knight. He was upset in his opening match. He was upset, of course, in his last match in Manchester. What do you think about Okada versus Speedball Mike Bailey? Could Jet Speed both get the better of the Rainmaker?
Again, I think it's got to go to Okada here. You know, insert speech from Pac Kevin Knight to Okada Bailey. I feel like this has to be Okada, especially if we're going to get Okada to Takeshita. You know, that's still the match that I know I'm picking for the finals. I know Walter is picking for the finals.
Of course, y'all.
And I know there's a lot of people out there that are picking it for the finals. So in order to get there, Okada's got to get the dub.
And of course, to get there, we got to see what momentum the Alpha Konosuke Takeshita has in return to Continental Classic action. As now, I'll let you give your thoughts towards this match. Again, Konosuke Takeshita, the only blemish of his run, of course, was a draw to Claudio Castagnoli. He has not lost a match at all as he goes in the leader of the entire field at 10 points. Of course, reigning defending IWGP World Champion, where next week, January 4th, from the Tokyo Dome at WrestleKingdom 20, he will defend that title and go after the Global Heavyweight Champion against Gene Blast, Yoda Tsuji in the semi-main event. But Máscara Dorada has been surprising us all since AEW All Out, Walter. And Máscara Dorada is very much still in the thick of this. If he goes to 9 points, he will take second place at this point tonight and will have wins over both Claudio Castagnoli and Konosuke Takeshita. So I'm going to put this one to Walter. Walter, what do you think about this match?
I think it's but the fact that Takeshita is pretty much a lock regardless, I think I kind of want to see Máscara beat him because I want to see the chaos again that it causes.
And of
I
course,
think Máscara already beat Moxley, who's let's face it, no disrespect to Máscara, is already kind of leagues ahead of him. Now he's fighting another man who's leagues ahead of him in Takeshita. He played spoiler once. Why can't he do it again?
And of course, JJ, Máscara Dorada is currently a CMLL welterweight and CMLL World Trios champion, and he's already beaten the CMLL Men's World Champion. If he beats the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, I could see him really challenging it ahead of the Fantastica Mania tour.
And on the flip side of that, if Takeshita gets the dub, he could be in line for a welterweight championship shot.
The bell rings. We are underway. And of course, Konosuke Takeshita has been involved in Mexico in CMLL, defending titles, of course, when he was never openweight champion. Continental tie up here in the early going. As of course, we've seen matches with Konosuke Takeshita also go very close to the draw, including his match just last night against freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. Again, the technique of Orange Cassidy, highly freaking underrated. Woo. And of course, another match of speed versus power here in play. Máscara Dorada, who Walter has dug, can pull an arm drag out anywhere. And basically is right at this point.
That's Senor arm drag. I think he found Jericho's list and saw how many times arm drag was written on it.
Arm drag. I mean, that's a fair analysis.
Speaking of Jericho's list, Dattila and I did a watch along last night for a Power Rangers Christmas episode. Nice. And one of the kids that sat on Santa's lap pulled out one of those huge lists of things they want. And I was like, look, it's the list of Jericho.
You idiots.
And she was like, no, it's his list of 1,004 holds.
Or 1,004 toys. Máscara Dorada.
Arm bar.
Arm drag, arm blank, Family Feud question, top 5 answers on the board. Name a move with arm in the title.
Little show of respect there from Takeshita. Little unlike him these days with the way he's been with the Callis family.
Well, the thing about the Continental Classic, as John Moxley simply put it really does bring the best out of everybody. And Konosuke Takeshita is all about proving himself to be the strongest, of course, in professional wrestling. Both of these men right now looking for the pin. Crucifix! And a 2 count by referee Brendan Martinez. And a quick exchange provides a quick pinning attempt for Máscara Dorada. Exciting and inventive offense by the luchador as Máscara Dorada, of course, shows the same level of respect to the Alpha, Konosuke Takeshita, who, of course, won the Fighting Spirit Award this year, courtesy of Tokyo Pro Sports. Oh, man, what a chop! Again, many people have dubbed Kazuchika Okada the greatest modern-day tournament wrestler, as Kazuchika Okada dubs himself the greatest modern-day professional wrestler out of Japan. And Konosuke Takeshita looks to challenge Okada for that very title, which, again, both you gents might get if we finally see Okada versus Konosuke one-on-one in the finals at World's End. And Konosuke right now is pretty much one match away from getting to those finals. Shoulder block,
and going back to the Okada Takeshita thing, dude, I don't think they can wait until Revolution to do it.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like waiting until March is waiting too long. Like, they've got to bubble into a boil. You've got to pull the trigger on that here soon. Some people may say World's End is too soon, but then where do you pull it off? It's got to be a TV special.
Well, I mean, again, JJ, we got Maximum Carnage in January, and again, Máscara Dorada with the arm drag. There it is, Walter. The side step.
But I say make that a pay-per-view match, man. Like, you can do a second match in the series at Maximum Carnage, or Fight for the Fallen, or, some of those other, Grand Slam Australia again.
Which is in February, prior to Revolution. But I also got to consider, oh, man. Collision into the barricade goes Máscara Dorada's elbow and shoulder as the Alpha continues forward. The Continental Classic here on Collision. Who takes the win here? Stay tuned as we go to Wrestling picture-in-picture. Fuck television. I also got.
And then you can do the third match at Revolution to kind of close the feud out. But you've got to You got to pull the trigger on that here soon.
Yeah.
That's a fair analysis. Again, for those that are just now tuning in, this is the Continental Classic. These matches, as you can see, have the following rules. If anyone gets involved, they are fired from AEW. Konosuke Takeshita leads his block at 10 points. And, of course, the top 2 scorers will advance to the semifinals and the finals that both will be at World's End this Saturday. And we'll be covering it, folks. Stay tuned. As, of course, City Predicting will be tomorrow night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, here at the Super Reliable Studios. I also got to consider this, JJ, to your point what you're making earlier. Konosuke Takeshita is heading into Wrestle Kingdom next week, challenging for a title and defending the IWGP World Championship, while Kazuchika Okada is heading into Wrestle Kingdom also next week, taking on his greatest rival for the final time in Hiroshi Tanahashi's retirement match. So there is so much more on the line for both Konosuke and Okada outside AEW, which adds even more pressure, I think, to both athletes.
And, I don't follow New Japan, so I don't know how often they do like run-in interference and like shenanigan finishes or whatever. But just imagine if we get match 1 here at World's End, like we all are hoping for, and then Okada makes himself shown to cost Takeshita the title. So Takeshita gets involved, allowing Tanahashi to get the victory in his final match to kind of add more fuel to their rivalry.
And I bet shop. I feel there's too much integrity in New Japan, unless you're House of Torture, which is the scum of the freaking earth right now with the professional wrestling business. There is way too much honor in New Japan Pro Wrestling, where it's truly about the strongest spirit. And of course, Konosuke Takeshita has this vision to unify professional wrestling underneath him, proving that he is the strongest of this sport, of this art form, of this entertainment spectacle, where he wants professional wrestling to be the biggest thing there is. He wants professional wrestling to be interesting. And Kazuchika Okada, of course, he came over to challenge himself in America to show the passion and the fight and how great Japanese professional wrestling is. And I think both men have exceeded so far in their mission statements. It's just a matter now of whose mission statement is more powerful and who is the stronger competitor because of it, which is why we want to see Okada versus Konosuke one-on-one. The man defined in DDT Pro versus the man that defined New Japan Pro Wrestling for the last damn 17 years.
Yeah, New Japan doesn't do interference that often. It's a big thing if they do it. So
yeah,
and I think we see
but
a
I
different
feel
version
like
of Okada.
But I feel like Takeshita Okada could be the feud of 2026, and Wrestle Kingdom could be a way to like really kick that off.
Whoa! But right now, Máscara is trying to kick off his comeback here as we're back at Christmas Collision with a beautiful takeover T. Harris here with Máscara versus Konosuke Takeshita. Both these men's last match in round robin tournament action here in the Continental Classic in the Blue League. Máscara Dorada on the top of the ring post with a beautiful moonsault to the outside.
Now, let me ask you, Noah, who would have the tiebreaker advantage between Takeshita and Claudio?
I would have to give it, considering you look at the final opponent, Roderick Strong lost to Konosuke Takeshita. If Roderick Strong beats Claudio Castagnoli, not only does he play spoiler, Konosuke Takeshita would have the tiebreaker. I mean, Konosuke would be the top seed. 450 splat, Máscara Dorada, hook on the far leg and 2 count. But if Máscara Dorada beats Konosuke Takeshita as he already beat Claudio Castagnoli, then that gives Claudio a chance to take a tiebreaker if he beats Roderick Strong. So really it comes down to what happens in this match first, because it's happening before Claudio versus Roderick Strong.
Well, because what I was going to say is, to Walter's point here earlier, if Dorada beats Takeshita, Takeshita still sits at 10, Dorada goes up to 9.
Correct.
Then
boom, thunder bomb, counter 2. Damn it!
Why?
Still doesn't get a pinfall victory.
Shut the fuck up, JJ!
You might as well have not interrupted JJ. Let him talk. You knew that wasn't going to be a thing.
Into the Christmas miracle! All right, go ahead, continue, JJ. Son of a bitch!
So point being is that Claudio would have to win in order to then edge Dorada out.
Correct. Again, literally, Konosuke and Claudio are fighting for the number 1 spot. It doesn't get simpler than that. And Konosuke right now teeing off against Máscara Dorada. This is their third encounter. by the way, in some capacity in the ring. First ever singles encounter. And again, the strength.
Too many tijeras.
And up and over. Oh, man!
Damn, Destroyer?
As the Destroyer poison around. Watch out! Watch out with a lariat! Choose the half cover, hook the fire leg, kick at 2.5.
To me, that
I think the Destroyer has won more matches this year than the Blue Thunderbomb has.
Yes.
I believe you are correct with that point. With the Panama Sunrise, of course, winning Adam Claudio this year, the TNT Championship as a first prime example. Take a look at this lariat, by the way, though. Wham!
And I know Penta's actually won with it at least once, if not twice, in WWE, even though it's not his primary finisher.
We wish Penta, by the way, all the best.
Couple of weeks as a finisher, so
I'm about to say, like, one of his debut finishes, by the way. And Castagnoli, ooh!
Holy shit, that'll knock your shoulder out of its socket.
Yeah, Harper literally elevated Máscara around the top turnbuckle. Now Konosuke perched on the inside second, looking to finish Máscara here, possibly looking for Rage and Fire. That Falcon Arrow, Máscara stopping it though. Hyan Siguri on the shoulder. Takeshita rots there, and Máscara.
Máscara is the only person that could turn an arm drag into a finisher, and I'll believe it.
Whoa! We're at the halfway point of this match, by the way, folks. 10 minutes have gone by, 10 minutes remaining, and Máscara again off that beautiful takeover Rana. Looking for something big out of the corner, shooting star. Rolls out of the way. Konosuke on the inside, up and around. Uh-oh. Hit them, Ganashi, bastard driver! With reversal, Máscara around the cover, too! Whoa!
I thought he was going to turn that into that wheelbarrow German.
I'm sure that was the plan, and then Máscara got the reverse roll-up, nearly got him. Running shooting star now connects, hook up both legs, too! No!
Yo, I thought he got him for a second.
Continued forward momentum, high impact moves by Máscara, trying to get the better of the Alpha here and staying on the attack. It's a brilliant strategy.
You know how embarrassing Takeshita would be if Máscara does get the win? Okada would not let him hear the end of it.
I mean, again, though, Konosuke Takeshita has had a near flawless run versus the Rainmaker, who's already lost 2 of his matches. I don't think Okada has a lot right now to talk about.
Yeah, I was going to say, Okada's got no place to talk. If you just look at the points, Takeshita's at 10, Okada's at 6. Okada has no room to talk. I don't care if he is the greatest tournament competitor of all time or whatever.
Power drive knee of that ridiculous short-range lariat.
I think the Falcon Arrow's next.
And I believe you're right. Raging Fire! Cover 2! Konosuke to 13! Guaranteed first place. There's your top seed, folks, of the Blue League, no matter what.
Top seed of the entire tournament. Forget the Blue League.
Damn near a clean sweep of the block with the exception of the one tie.
Yeah, let's take a look at the updated standings, guys. The highest score someone can get now is Claudio Castagnoli at 10. So if Claudio wins, then that means everyone else is officially eliminated. At this point, you gotta consider Konosuke a favorite to take the whole damn thing. Imagine Konosuke winning both the G1 Climax and the Continental Classic in the same year. Be unprecedented.
That was my prediction as soon as they announced him. That's another part of why I think we're going to get Takeshita Okada.
Oh,
He's going to offset the greatest tournament wrestler of our generation, prevent Okada from getting back-to-back C2 victories, take the Continental Championship, and have won the G1 and the C2 in the same year.
Well, we'll find out.
The IWGP Championship, all 3 accomplishments in 1 year.
Yeah,
and an even greater accolade, the last I checked, he was leading the votes for Male Superstar of the Year for us.
That don't surprise me.
I'm not sure if he won or not, but the last time I checked, he was in the lead. So all that and Male Superstar of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, look at the year Konosuke Takeshita's had. Wrestle Kingdom 19, January 4th. He walked in as the freaking AEW International Champion, won the Neverweight Championship, defended both titles successfully against Tomoyoshi Ii. He beat Shingo Takagi and Tomoyoshi Ii on back-to-back nights in the Tokyo Dome, ascended to be the longest reigning, most defense successive Neverweight champion in New Japan Pro Wrestling history. Went on to win the G1 Climax tournament against Evil, thank Christ, in the end, and beat Zack Sabre Jr. for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship while holding a schedule for freaking DDT Pro, New Japan, and AEW, while also competing at times in CMLL and Maple Leaf Pro. Now he has a chance to culminate his calendar year ahead of going into the Tokyo Dome, challenging for another IWGP Championship, the Global Heavyweight Championship, winning the Continental Classic, and claiming the AEW Unified Championship over possibly Kazuchika Okada. It'd be unprecedented.
That'd be a hell of a resume.
In 1 year. Well, as we got a moment to breathe, again, coming up next, we were talking about earlier, JJ, here's your freaking decider for the Blue League. Kyle Castagnoli versus Roderick Strong. After that prep talk by Kyle O'Reilly, if Roderick Strong beats Claudio Castagnoli, he will stay at 7 and leave Orange Cassidy and Jon Moxley both alive. If Claudio Castagnoli wins, it's game over for the rest of the Blue League.
Everybody in the Blue League's hoping for a loss here.
Exactly. And it would be Roderick Strong's first win, to JJ's point, as he's been goose-egged the entire run.
And I am Mr. Christmas here.
You are.
I'm a believer in Christmas miracles.
So it's Kyle O'Reilly.
I wanted so bad Roddy to get a dub last night, and he didn't do it.
Getting close.
I believe that Roddy can do it tonight.
So you really think that Roderick Strong will upset the former Ring of Honor World Champion and currently Men's World Champion tonight? You think Roderick Strong can beat Claudio Castagnoli?
I know he can. The question is can he beat this version of Claudio Castagnoli?
Yeah, to your point, I just want to bring people a little bit of history on Claudio Castagnoli versus Roderick Strong. The first time they met each other was back in 2006 in ZCW in the best of the best 6 semifinals match. Claudio Castagnoli won that night. Since then, their last singles encounter was in Ring of Honor over the FIP World Heavyweight Championship. Roderick Strong beat Claudio that night. They've also met each other, of course, later on in PWG, as you know, JJ, on a couple of occasions. Both those times, Claudio Castagnoli won. The last time these two went one-on-one in AEW was in October earlier this year, and Claudio won. So Roderick Strong is looking for the first time in AEW to beat Claudio Castagnoli.
Hey, Strong, it's a tournament. If you really want to win, just go put on a lucha mask and wrestle lucha style. You'll beat Claudio.
Yeah, I love those, by the way. As you see the Death Friars, of course, Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta wheeling on.
Santa had to go into his sack and pull out a Reese's, courtesy of my pop.
Hey,
stocking full of candies this morning, so.
I love it. Yeah, I have my Warfers, my Kit Kats, and of course my Twix, and of course Claudio Castagnoli looks to break Roderick Strong's body and spirit and hurl himself guaranteed second seed in the Blue League to the semifinals of the Continental Classic. Again, last year, his last round robin tournament match was his undoing. That loss to Commander eliminated Claudio Castagnoli. As Claudio Castagnoli not only goes in here in second place, he goes into his third Continental Classic. He has the most Continental Classic experience than anyone else in this entire history of the Continental Classic, but he's never made it out of the preliminaries.
That's why I said if Roderick really wants to beat him, man, just go out there with a lucha mask and wrestle that style. Claudio cannot beat luchadores in a tournament.
Well, let's see what Roderick Strong brings tonight, especially after what he heard from Kyle O'Reilly. Good luck to the Messiah of the Backbreaker. He's going to need it. Part of me is actually rooting for Roderick Strong as well, considering I know what this man is capable of, considering his work in Ring of Honor, if nothing else. And that is undisputed.
Is there a woman, is there a pregnant woman in a wheelchair in the front row? Maybe Roddy can use her as a weapon.
Do you have to bring that up?
I do.
Trying to be serious here.
I am being serious here. We have video evidence of him doing that.
And of course, you know,
to a close personal friend of ours too. It's not even like it's just some random person at his show. It's somebody we actually know.
Well, anyway, oh God! And then might end
Shout
on the
out
side
and
with
a
that
Merry
running
Christmas
uppercut.
to the West Coast professor, Jeff Mother effing Meacham.
And both these men starting out quick at the jackknife follow-up off the neutralizer counter. Brad Transberg gets a 1 count here, and neither of these men are wasting any time. They know what this means. In all
Claudio's trying to
seriousness,
end it.
though.
He knows that if he wins, that's over for everybody else. He tried to do the neutralizer, and he popped out with a European uppercut immediately.
Exactly. Well, he also knows, again, the last 2 times. Whoa! He failed. And Claudio Castagnoli immediately on the attack. The emissary of violence and John Moxley's Death Riders with a deadlift. Cover 2. Count only.
Dude, Claudio's not messing around.
I mean, how many times do you let history repeat itself before you do something about it? Popping bomber, cover, hook on the far leg, 2. No. Roddy literally turned inside out. Another running uppercut turns Roderick strong inside out, brings him back in the ring, cover 2. Count only.
Dude, Roderick has barely been able to get out of the gates.
I don't think Roderick Strong's pulled any offense out since Claudio decked his jaw.
I think all they
Again,
did was
on the
reverse
attack,
something.
on the outside with the running uppercut. I mean, Claudio Castagnoli looking for an easy day at the office at this point. Looking probably for a count out here.
It's never an easy day at the office when you're a wrestler.
That's an accurate point. And again, the moment Roderick Strong moved, Claudio Castagnoli immediately back on the attack. Hoists at Roderick Strong. Uh-oh. Oh, no.
That was across the Adam's apple.
And driven over the barricades to the all-elite fleet. And again, Claudio is looking for a count out here, guaranteeing the elimination of the rest of the Blue League, including JJ's point, John Moxley, who Claudio Castagnoli already beat. Of course, John Moxley beat Roderick Strong, so if Roderick Strong does win here, John Moxley would hold that tiebreaker. Orange Cassidy, however, did fall to Claudio Castagnoli. So if John Moxley beats Orange Cassidy, then John Moxley, of course, will move forward into the semifinals. Wait a minute. Pick up. Oh! Big liquid slam by Roderick Strong, trying to mount a comeback. And get his
Come on,
first
Roddy, you can do it.
and get his first 3 points that JJ has been praying for this holiday season.
I believe in Mr. Strong.
And Roderick Strong has had a very rough second half of this year if you looked at, of course, his track record. Not only mentally, physically, but, of course, in the ring. Running uppercuts by Claudio Castagnoli to Roderick Strong, respective corners. And Roderick Strong gets the boot up, fine creating separation. Insecurity rocks the CML Men's World Champion, former Ring of Honor World Champion. Pop up. Oh, nice knee strike counter the uppercut. Jumping knee strike. Claudio staggered, though. Finally falls towards the rope. Still on his feet. Lightning fast strikes by Roderick Strong. Jumping, exposed knee strike. Claudio down. Cover 2. No.
He did it!
He did it! Sudden flash knee strike. Roderick Strong has allowed the Blue League to stay alive. Uh-oh. And earned his first 3 points.
Yo, that's nuts.
The confidence of Claudio Castagnoli and the fast, furious nature of his attack to go for the win cost him. The moment Roderick Strong found a chance, Roderick Strong capitalized, but now he's going to pay for it.
He barely got offense in either.
Yeah, it was exposed knee strike to the jaw that literally KO'd Claudio. Wait a minute, comes Mark Briscoe! TNT champion with a 2x4 in the hand. Again, remember what Kyle Riley says. You do have friends in the conglomeration.
Yeah, but Roddy has refused to conglomerate. Could this finally be what brings him in full tilt to the conglomeration?
Are you trying to say that his heart grew 3 times its size this day?
Hey, if it worked for the Grinch.
Again, Marina Shafir, though.
If
Oh, wait a
Jack
minute.
Frost could be melted with a warm hug.
Oh, well, speaking of melting somebody, here comes Timeless Tony Storm, and I think she just brained Marina Shafir with those beads. Those pearls, excuse me.
It's a pearl necklace.
Well, man. And Marina Shafir furious about that after being KO'd with a stiff kick. And, of course, her forever lover incapacitated by Mother's Milk. Shaking the
She'll be
hand of my
fine.
friend.
She's fighting tomorrow on the Boxing Day Brawl.
And Mark Briscoe, though.
Wait a minute. Is Tony Storm going to conglomerate?
No. Don't put that out there in the ether.
Mark Briscoe kissing the hand of
That was
timeless Tony.
Southern gentleman.
Only in AEW would you say Mark Briscoe and Thomas Tony Storm in the same sentence, and it would sound normal. That being said, Claudio Castagnoli ends at 7. He is right now in second place, but John Moxley and Orange Cassidy are both alive.
But if that goes to a draw, then you've got the tie.
And of course, that would mean the tiebreaker would probably go to, in this case, depending on, of course, who have more wins in their run of previous opponents, I would think it would go to John Moxley. As we got another moment here looking at FTR, who, of course, still are the AEW Tag Team Champions after outsmarting and outlasting the Bang Bang Gang for the first time. But again, congratulations to Roderick Strong getting his first and only 3 points and beating Claudio Castagnoli clean as a whistle.
Do you believe in miracles, Noah?
I mean, I've always been one to believe in certain things around this time of
You
year.
just saw a Christmas miracle.
I did. Roderick
We're
Strong
not even
did
on
it.
34th Street.
Yeah, and Sun in Fashion, by the way, an exposed jumping knee strut to Claudio's jaw. He literally KO'd the man.
But we are on 34th Street because we're in the same building that Dynamite on 34th Street was, Walter.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
yeah,
it's
sure.
the Hammerstein Ballroom, dude. And it sounds like the Bang Bang Gang has challenging Small Stoke and FTR to a Chicago street fight. After Austin Gunn and Rockhard Juice Robinson were robbed. Robbed! VTR, damn it! Thanks for that annoying gnat.
It's all right. It's all right. They didn't get the championship, but Big Stoke still gets no hose.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Mm-hmm. Can't be saying that because he's got no ho-ho-hos.
He gets no hose from very area codes.
Well,
area codes.
oh my gosh.
No hose.
Anyway, Chicago Street Fight this Saturday for AEW Tag Team Championships. FTR and the Bang Bang Gang are about to run it back and take it to the streets.
He doesn't
and
get
that
hos,
controversy-
just knows.
Dude, if there was ever a time to bring the Switchblade back, that is the time right there.
I mean, again, we saw one miracle happen. Could we see another one happen? Speaking of miracles, is Jamie Hayter rightfully deserves her throne again? We'll find out when she goes one-on-one with the Gauzy's Cosmic Killer and the AEW Women's World Champion, Chris Statlander. Prove
Pick
her
Noah.
something, Jamie. I don't have to
Pick
say
Noah.
anything yet. No, not yet. I don't say
You
anything
got
yet.
to pick Noah.
I'm just going to say this. Jamie Hayter and Chris Statlander have a lot more similarities than people take granted for. Of course, the last two went one-on-one was in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament, and Chris Statlander fell to Jamie Hayter. We also saw Jamie Hayter drop Chris Statlander with that Hayter raid, and she didn't get back up. And Jamie Hayter thought it was nothing. Jamie Hayter, though, of course, had her fair share of injuries, lost everything, including that title. Has not been the same since she returned after losing the Owen Hart Foundation tournament and fallout, of course, with the Triangle of Madness. A lot of similar ties when it comes to both these women's journey, but Chris Statlander is the one that has reformed, evolved, and gained everything. Can Jamie Hayter do the same thing come this Saturday? We'll find out at World's End. As Continental Classic action continues here, and the jet is ready to fly, it's time for Kevin Knight versus the Bastard Pac in the Gold League. Oh, man, this Saturday, World's End, I'm so damn pumped for this pay-per-view, as always. But I'm more particularly pumped for the women, and of course, AEW Women's World Champion Chris Statlander and Jamie Hayter. But in the meantime, Continental Classic rolls on, and let's go to the Gold League, where again it is do or die, as the Jet Kevin Knight with Matai Ad, an incredible match against the Proto Star Kyle Fletcher, and a win Matai Ad over him. Now takes on the Bastard Pac, who of course beat Kyle Fletcher. As we saw Kyle Fletcher earlier tonight, go up to 9 points. And the strategy is going to come into play here when it comes to tiebreakers, to JJ's point, as we were talking about earlier. Again, the Jet Kevin Knight, who JJ wrote off most of this tournament, has been a sleeper spoiler.
I mean,
9 points there.
I don't say it to be mean, but when you look at tournaments like this, you look at your obvious favorites and you look at there's guys to take pins.
Yes, of course.
And if you look at the names on this list, Okada, Fletcher, those are obviously your favorites. You've got a couple of dark horses in there, like the Bastard. And then you got your guys that are in there to take pins. Darby was a dark horse until he got injured. So Pac and Darby were your dark horses. Jet
Mm.
Speed were your pin takers, your pin eaters. But they obviously wanted to do something more with them in this.
Hey,
So kudos to them, but that's why I had the stance that I did here.
fair point. And of course, if Kevin and Pac go to a time limit draw, they will each only get 1 point and each be tied at second place at 7. Of course, Kyle Fletcher lost to the bouncing bastard Pac in Manchester, England. And Kevin Knight. Kyle Fletcher, think about this, guys. Kyle Fletcher, 2 of his losses, his literal 2 losses, came at the hands of these 2 men. Or no, excuse me, it's actually Speedball Mike Bailey, but Speedball Mike Bailey of Jet Speed and the bastard, of course, Pac. And again, folks, the lead of the gold will face runner-up of the blue. And of course, the runner-up of the gold, we now know will take on Konosuke Takeshita, the winner of the blue league. We've already seen 1 draw in this tournament. We have not seen no draws, though, in the gold league here. And looking at both these men's similar styles of speed and agility, this match comparing gold to distance. Bell rings are underway. And of course, a lot of history to be made this Saturday in the first defense of the inaugural AEW Women's World Tag Team Champion. Still to come tonight, Bands of Rap taking on Maya World and Hyan. A stiff Continental tie up here in the early going proceedings here, and a standing switch exchange right now being applied. The front face lock. And I mean, again, what would it mean for both Speedball Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight to make their ways into a tiebreaker situation or be the top 2 potentially here in the gold league if both men win here? Armringer.
It would be interesting to be sure.
Well, I mean, Speedball and Kevin Knight talked about how they want that Jet Speed final. The final can't happen with these 2, but a semifinal very well could. The armringer being applied right now by Kevin Knight to the bastard Pac.
Well, no, a Jet Speed final could happen in theory because the tiebreakers. One of them would be the semifinal. One of them would be the number 1 seed. One would be the number 2 seed.
I didn't think about that. You're absolutely right. That's true. Because no matter what, it is gold versus blue on both sides of the semifinals. It's just a matter of where you plant. And we know one plant for sure. The top.
And then in theory, if they each won their semifinal match, it would be a Jet Speed final. But I don't see either of these people getting past Takeshita.
Well, let's see if Jet Speed takes a spot in the semifinals here. Again, the bastard Pac goes in here with 6, along with Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight's wins, of course. Ooh, nice headlock takeover there. Cover. Kevin Knight's wins, of course, over Darby Allin, a.k.a. Jungle Jet Prey, because he took the spot. And, of course, that shock win in England over Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada. Speedball Mike Bailey's wins, of course, are over Kevin Knight. And also, as we talked about before, Kyle Fletcher. And, of course, Pac also had 6 points with wins over, of course, Kyle Fletcher. And right now, the drop down. Ooh. Again, both these men founded in Japan. Kevin Knight, of course, former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champion. Bastard Pac, former Open the Dragon Gate Champion. And also inaugural All-Atlantic Champion that, of course, became the AEW National Championship. Deep Arm Drag takeover by Kevin Knight. Whoa, man! And driven up and over.
I like how Pac stopped Kevin from getting to the ropes in that bulldog choke.
And Plancha steps out of the way. Again, folks, pure one-on-one contest. No seconds allowed at ringside. 20-minute time limit. 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw. Anyone gets involved, they are fired. Has been the integrity of this tournament since day one.
Kevin looks like he's getting frustrated.
Well, we all know how much the bastard likes to get in his opponent's heads. It plays to his advantage. Again, folks, next week, Wednesday, we will ring in the new year with New Year's Smash on New Year's Eve before our annual Saturday Shenanigans New Year's Eve special. Please stay tuned and be along with us for the ride as we usher in 2026 and say farewell to 2025 and more to come. You see right now, Pac finally making his way back inside after turning the momentum down. Get to the midsection of Kevin Knight. In front face lock. And the nice thing is also, neither of these men are showing any signs of wear or tear or injuries, despite how much they've given in this tournament. Of course, Pac right now showing he has the power advantage with these hard average whip in the turnbuckles. Again, folks, World's End this weekend, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on pay-per-view, exclusive on HBO Max. $40 for HBO, of course, subscribers. You can get it for your local pay-per-view outlet. And, of course, we have a 0 Hour hosted by Renee Paquette, RJ City, and Double J, Jeff Jarrett. Prior to that, across all AEW social medias. There is no tailgate brawl. And, again,
I still think they're going to have at least one match on the pre-show.
It'd be an interesting exhibition choice, but I wouldn't know what you would do considering the importance of this end-year show to show who's going to lead 2026 in AEW.
Well, if we've got a multi-person tie, that could always be a tiebreaker match.
He's still holding out for that. You really think that this Continental Classic could happen?
Dude, this C2 tournament has been full of shit that we never thought we would see.
And I love it!
So is it really out of the realm of possibility, Noah, that we could see a multi-man tiebreaker match?
In the Gold League, after what I've seen so far, absolutely not. Especially if both these men get 1 point. Because technically that would mean that Kyle Fletcher would be the top seed, but Kevin Knight and Pac would both be in the running for second. Now, depending on what happens with Kazuchika Okada, what a jumping, standing lariat and kip up by Kevin Knight. And Speedball my Bailey, that right there could be the do or die for both these two if they go to a tie. Average whip and again thrown off. Of course, if Kazuchika Okada wins his match and these two men go to a draw, then it would have to be Kazuchika Okada and Kyle Fletcher that would advance to the semifinals because both of them would be at 9. Again, jumping up and down. The leaping ability and the power forward of Kevin Knight. Unbelievable. Eat your heart out, LeBron James. Just bouncing up and down everywhere. This boy freaking bouncy. Now Kevin Knight looking to take flight up the top rope here. And Pac going up to the outside. Smart strategy by the bastard. Getting a little respite here. Kevin Knight. One shot! Holy hell! Get ready to fly!
You are, I am. Oh, wait,
and somehow stuck the landing. Look at this, guys. Good Lord. Soaring with the greatest of ease tonight in the Hammerstein Ballroom, finding his mark. And the Larry DDT drops the bastard on his head. Cover 2. No. Pac somehow able to get the left shoulder up. Again, non-copyright, by the way, JJ, but good man. About that, I'm not even sure how far we are. I don't think it's been 10 minutes yet, but good grief. And Kyle Fletcher right now. You almost wonder, is Kyle Fletcher want to see these two go for a draw? Because, again, that would mean that he would still hold first place for the time being. Considering he lost to one of these two men. And again, driving that fist right into the head of Pac with a snapmare now. Pac might literally be out for right seeing. The sliding elbow connects. Cover hook the far leg kick. And Knight gets a 2 count. This high-octane match continues in WrestleClive picture-in-picture. Fuck television. Who's going to take flight to 9? Or are either man going to be in a tie? Woof. Finally give me a moment to freaking breathe. Dadgummit. I knew this match was going to send me into high velocity. Oh, and a kick out by Pac. I mean, again, we talked about before, Kyle Fletcher lost the bastard Pac, but Kyle Fletcher did beat Kevin Knight. Kyle Fletcher, of course, also beat Kazuchika Okada, lost to Speedball Mike Bailey. And the bastard right now just driving his boots. Pac was very adamant, by the way, in his pre-match thoughts to Renee Paquette, the exclusive on AEW's X, saying that every match is just as important. There is no loss for me. This is not a circus. This is professional wrestling. And John Moxley, of course, echoing that with his earlier sentiments about how this tournament brings the best out of everybody in its simple formula. Get 3 points. Average whip, hard average whip to Kevin Knight again, just bouncing off the top turnbuckle pad. Again, folks, still the kind of night. Francis Jones, Cassidy versus John Moxley, Kazuchika Okada, Speedball Mike Bailey, and our AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions, the Babes of Wrath, Harley Cameron, and Willow Nightingale, taking on Hyan and Maya World. It also was announced, by the way, earlier today, Harley Cameron making her Pro Wrestling Eve debut next year at Queendom. A lot more fun there.
I did see that.
You all can follow Pro Wrestling Eve, of course, on YouTube, as, of course, Dan and Adam do a great job, of course. You can actually go see Will Nightingale's inaugural match in Pro Wrestling Eve for free now on YouTube. Again, just driving the boot into the throat of Kevin Knight. If I was Pop, though, I would not take Kevin Knight lightly here. Because Kevin Knight literally is a guy that could work his playbook. Probably fly higher, honestly. Of course, Pac, former Trios champion, as JJ saw Game 7 in the fabulous Forum, of course. Pac very accomplished here in AEW. Kevin Knight still very young and untested, JJ. Missile drop kick sends Kevin Knight up and over. Good Lord. And Pac with the cover, hook of the far lane, deep hook, gets the 2 counts as referee Stephon Smith. And again, folks, we'll be back here tomorrow with Boxing Day Brawler for Ring of Honor and simply predicting World's End. And we'll be back with World's End coverage Saturday night ahead of the Saturday Shenanigans, Week Marvel Conversation of Wrestling Madness, as we head into the final week of the year. And Pac right now looking to work the head and neck of Kevin Knight, possibly soften it up for that brutalizer, Walter. Of course, we know our World's End card so far features a fatal 4-way for the AEW Men's World Championship. MJF, Swerve Strickland, Samoa Joe, Heyman Page, Chris Statlander versus Jimmy for the AEW Women's World Championship. AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions on the line. The inaugural defense of those titles as Baszler Rap, Harley Cameron, and Nightingale defend against Mercedes, Monet, and Athena. A Chicago Street Fight for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. FTR versus the Bang Bang Gang, Rock Hard Drews Robinson, and Austin Gunn. And of course, our semifinals and finals for the Continental Classic, all at World's End this Saturday. Hell of a card, in my opinion. And right now, pinpoint precision off that missile drop kick, giving Pac control here to return here, double collision. Boot up again by Kevin Knight, trying to create separation. And fighting forward again with those fists, former Intergalactic Jet Setter, of course, trained by Kushida, world-renowned competitor of the junior heavyweight division. Surprised me that Kevin Knight doesn't try to go for a hoverboard lock at some point. Another flying clothesline, short range by Kevin Knight. The reach of Kevin Knight has definitely played to his advantage here. And again, springing out of the corner with the cross body. Again, like, oh man! Vicious power slam by Pac. Pac now back up the second rope. Whoa! Leaping Hurricane Rana by Kevin Knight takes the bastard down. Now rolling in with a twisting elbow drop instead of a splash cover. 2 count only again. Woo. And a bit of a stalemate here right now, and Kevin Knight fueling definitely this match. And Kyle Fletcher right now, of course, sits at 9 points. Both these men are trying to look to tie the Proto Star here. Kevin Knight falling in, sit up and over. And Pac, though, as Kevin Knight looks to soar again, Pac gets out of the way up the springboard clothesline, runs in. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Overhead belly to belly, he flew all the way out the ring.
Yeah, he literally hit the top turnbuckle and went up and over to the floor. Good Lord.
Hey, man, you call yourself jet speed for a reason, right? You just flew.
Yeah, but jets don't crash like that. At least they're not supposed to. Maybe I shouldn't talk about aerial vehicles crashing in New York, actually. I probably shouldn't talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, take a look at the replay here. Good grief. High elevation propelling Kevin Knight to higher heights in an unfortunate crash landing.
Yeah, if he didn't clip the turnbuckle, he probably would have flew all the way into the crowd.
Oof. Again, the effort, determination, the drive, and of course, the desire of all these men to win this prestigious tournament. And of course, I want to add, Pac and Kevin Knight are in their first Continental Classic, and a hell of a performance by both. All right, now Pac with Kevin Knight up on the top rope. What the hell? Oh, God! Overhead belly-to-belly throw from the top turnbuckle. And Pac crawling his way over, hooking the near leg, back press, collar kick, 2.5 by Kevin Knight.
I think Pac's getting frustrated he can't put Kevin Knight away.
I feel like Pac's having issues with his own lower back after the moves that we saw. Now turning Kevin Knight over, possibly into the brutalizer. Kevin Knight, though, again, great awareness and the range, immediately finds the ropes before Pac can even cinch it in. Immediate break by Kevin Knight. And Pac right now, you talk about the frustration of the bastard, seems pretty composed with that sinister smile. Kevin Knight again, though, going after him with the elbows. Gets the midsection. And an Irish whip reversal. Pac's off of the ropes, went for the drop kick. Pac was able to scout again, hard landing on Kevin Knight's back. Uh-oh. Oh, wait a minute. Now Pac looking to pick up speed from 0 to 7,000 RPM, looking for the drop kick. Intercepting the attempted pumping bomber from Manchester, England.
That's a high-speed collision. No pun intended.
Are you sure about that, Mr. Pun?
I was going to say, you're the guy with the puns. Tell me you didn't mean to make that.
Rainbow flying lariat! And Kevin Knight right now is on the doorstep, popping him up, planting with a powerbomb cover. 2-0! And
In some scenes, we call that the phenomenal forearm.
Right? Got 5 minutes left in this one, guys. By the way, 5 minutes left. I also want to talk about the body disposition. No legs over the shoulders.
You can't say the people that win each match don't earn it, because damn, each match is going almost close to being tied. Every match is like back and forth. Oh, every time somebody earns it, wins, they definitely have earned it in this tournament.
Kevin Knight leaping off the apron again. Pac catching him, though. Vicious German suplex on the floor.
And honestly, I feel that's one of the downsides of this tournament, if I'm being completely honest. Not every match needs to go 18 minutes, 19 minutes, 17 minutes. We can get a couple of matches that go 10 and under.
You mean like Roderick and Claudio Castagnoli, for example. And to be fair, there has been that type of dynamic here in the Continental Classic. It just really depends on how much you've actually watched it fully, like I have. That's why I've
watched almost every episode of this tournament this year, sir.
And some of the matches, JJ, apparently you forgot your booking time clock, because some of these matches haven't even hit 10 minutes. The only ones that really have gone the distance have involved Pac, Kevin Knight, Kyle Fletcher, and of course, Kazuchika Okada. And again, Konosuke makes the count at 9.5, and no one wins on a count out here. All right,
it's like the Blue
More
Thunder
people
bomb.
went on a count out than went on a Blue Thunder Bomb.
Don't start me, JJ.
Stop me when I'm telling lies, Noah.
Oh, good grief. Meanwhile, leaping up to the top rope. Are you kidding me?
Superplex.
Superplex! Holy hell. Well, Prospect wasn't hurting before. I guarantee you it's hurting now. I'm not sure who's where off that move.
Just noticed the kinesio tape there on Kevin Knight, though, right under his elbow pad.
And take a look at the replay here, guys, and look at the leaping ability, Shades of Shelton Benjamin by freaking Kevin Knight. Good grief.
Ow.
You see how freaking Pac popped up like a horseshoe. And to your point, JJ, there is that kinesio tape. I do see it now on the left elbow. But again, Pac has not been able to exploit any sort of lingering effects in either of those arms. And of course, Pac wears no elbow pads. Bone-on-bone impact whenever Pac hits you with an elbow. Both these men are now trading bombs. Center of the ring. Time is of the essence for these two men, or this could go to a tie, and both men will be left at 7. Oof! Spinning Sova, bends Kevin Knight over. Again, that back kick, lethal. Another back kick, and once again pushes Kevin Knight into the turnbuckles. Oh, man! Driving his boot forward through Kevin Knight's head, and Pac once again looking for speed. Kevin Knight following him with a running, and I do mean running, drop kick. Less than 2 minutes to go here. Again, if this goes to a draw, they will be tied at 7, just above Kazuchika Okada and Speedball Mike Billy, but behind Kyle Fletcher. And Kevin Knight with a long way to go, coast to coast. And it connected.
Uh-oh.
Not going for the cover, though. Wants to make sure, leave no doubt to the top rope. UFO splash, but hits the knees. And pop the crucifix, the cover, 2. Oh, man.
Damn.
Woo. We are just a little bit above the 1 minute mark in this match. And if you're going to go to the time limit draw and leave nothing to chance, this is the night to do it. Watch out, what a puppy bomber! 1 minute left, that could be it too! No!
Oh, nope.
Less than 60 seconds left.
Don't get frustrated. Stay on the offense, Pop.
You realize who you're talking about, right?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Looking for that black arrow. That's the move he used to beat Kyle Fletcher. Kevin Knight in the drop zone. Oh, I got the knees up. Kevin Knight with the capture. Inside cradle tune. Oh, God, how the hell did Puck get out of that?
The time's going to run out.
Schoolboy 2 by Kevin Knight. Desperate situation. 20 seconds left. Okada roll attempt by Kevin Knight. Deep roll up. Cover 2. Pop pushes him off, though.
Yeah, the time's going to expire on this one.
10 seconds left. The brutalizer's in the middle of the ring. Will Kevin Knight tap? Will Kevin Knight outlast the clock? 2, 1. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Told you the clock was running out.
Holy hell.
Now, does Pac think he won?
This match is a draw.
You got to think if they had 30 more seconds, Pac would have won because, look, Kevin Knight's out.
Yeah, literally saved by the bell has never been more poetic than this bout. As we look at the updated standings, Pac and Kevin Knight end at 7, just behind Kyle Fletcher, with only Kazuchika, Okada, and Speedball My Belly remaining. If either of those men win, Pac and Kevin Knight are eliminated. Which means Kazuchika, Okada, and Speedball My Belly is the definition of do or die.
Damn.
Let Okada and Speedball go to a time limit draw, then you got a 4-way tie for 7.
And then you got to look at the tiebreakers. Again, Kazuchika Okada lost to Kevin Knight, but he beat the bastard Pac. And of course, Speedball My Belly beat Kevin Knight, lost to the bastard Pac. Kazuchika Okada, though, of course, he beat Pac, but he did not beat Kevin Knight. Again, do or die with those two men in the gold league. But coming up next, the Bears are having tag team match against Hyan and Maya Ward will return to Christmas Collision. Fuck television.
Yay.
Freaking yay. Look at this little child happy on Christmas Day.
Rap.
Babes of Rap.
Of course I'm
Babes
happy
of
on
Rap.
Christmas Day. I get my Willow.
I'm about to say, it's all about Will and Nago at the end of the day for this gentleman. Oh, God. Holy hell, I love this.
Pillow under my Christmas tree.
Okay, that just sounded weird beyond belief. I'm just saying. Anyway. Oh, all right. Well, now we got a moment to breathe again. Thank you all so much for tuning into us this fine Christmas night with Christmas Collision. Hope you're enjoying the reactions, conversation, coverage, and analysis. And of course, we are proprietors, fans, and analysts of our own kind. We are passionate followers of the wrestling business. Only want to see it succeed and thrive. And of course, for me, I truly love All Elite Wrestling. Been following it since day 0, -1 for AEW All In 2018. And again, this is my favorite time of the year, Continental Classic season as we approach World's End. Hope you all have enjoyed, of course, everything that's happened so far. Please subscribe, comment, tell a friend if you want to see more of this from me and my friends involved, as these guys have me call every freaking show under the sun for AEW and WWE particularly, it seems. So again, if you're enjoying this, again, know that we do this for all the biggest pay-per-views, PLEs, and specials across WWE, NXT, TNA, ROH, AEW, under prep promotions including the two, GCW, JCW, Wrestling Revolver, HOG. And shout out, by the way, to Ryan Fish, of course, the Russell Fish, James Hebert, our Canadian friend, Ash, and even Nick Ferrantes, who's been involved in some of the commentary calls this year. As everyone really has stepped up and done a phenomenal job. And I just want to say, as we, of course, gather here in the conclusion of the Christmas season, thank you all for the gift of your encouragement to allow us to showcase this love for professional wrestling. Damn it, as you all continue to make it possible for the passion to persist and pursue. So again, I humbly thank all of you. Well, Walter, yeah, freaking saw it. It's a freaking 20-minute draw. Both men now are at 7. Kyle Fletcher's at 9. So literally, if Speedball Okada wins, that's our other seed going into the semifinals of the Gold League.
Okada has to ruin it for everyone if he wins tonight.
Well, not only that, but he has to win to save his chances of holding on to the championship. Remember, he's the defending champion. If he loses, he is officially going to lose the AEW Continental Championship, which I imagine would eliminate the AEW Unified Championship.
I'm not bored, Lee. I got the itis. That good food you made is kicking my ass right now.
I mean, to be fair, I've had food 3 times today. I've had dessert 2 times today. I've had family over twice today. I played Jackbox games. I've been going nonstop since 7 a.m. this morning with an hour nap prior to this. Simple as that.
I got the itis like a motherfucker with her food.
A good food would do that. And of course, great wrestling will also do that because you all know when it comes to me how much I run on autopilot. But as soon as the show's over, but anyway, well, again, JJ, your premonition could still come to fruition. So let's go ahead and put it on the spot. Time for JJ's prediction. JJ, call it now. Kazuchika, Okada, Speedball, Mike Bailey. Do either man win or do you get some crazy ass 4-way draw?
There's something in my gut that tells me that it goes to a draw and we get a 4-way tie. And then we get a fatal 4-way match on the 0 hour to determine who's going to go to the semifinals.
You heard it here, folks. JJ Williams, place your bets right now. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. What the hell? Gabe Kidd. Well, Gabe Kidd pushed Darby Allin down a flight of stairs yesterday, lest we forget. That same flight of stairs they was pushed down at the beginning of the year, might I add, by the Death Riders.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure who needs more psychiatric treatment at this point, Gabe Kidd or Darby Allin.
What are we gonna get a pat? You know, I called the bisexual brawler, the lesbian, but these two need to be in a padded room match.
To find some way to rip the padding off and still injure each other. Many people say Darby Allin's indestructible. Gabe Kidd saying that right now he's lit up in the ICU, unable to move. I don't know, that's true. But it wouldn't surprise me. Spending Christmas Day in a hospital? That prompts the question. What? Oh, that's right. Gabe Kidd challenged him to a match. Oh, dear God. That's right. Gabe Kidd challenged Darby Allin to a match at World's End.
You literally took your own match off.
You realize the lights went out, right? Wait a minute.
It's Sting! No, I'm kidding.
No, it's Darby! But you might as well call him this era Sting after Sting gave him that baseball bat. This freaking living cadaver will not stay down!
This dude. Him and Eric
Dude survived getting hit by a bus. You think a flight of stairs is going to keep him down?
He survived Mount Everest, JJ. Enough said. Oh, shit. You had to say bat.
I don't know who's worse, him or Eric Young, with the dying and coming back shift.
And Gabe Kidd just dodging a Hail Mary of a swing this Saturday. It's your World's End. Oh, shit. Well, that's official. He answered it this Saturday. Get ready for the damnedest fight between two madmen. It's Gabe Kidd versus Darby Allin one-on-one. Lord help both their medical bills.
You guys aren't letting the drones charge long enough. It's going to die on you.
As, of course, we look towards World's End and our AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship match. Of course, Athena, the forever Ring of our Women's World Champion, alongside Mercedes Moné, who invested in Athena and the Mega Problems, got the better of the Bears of Wrath during Holiday Bash to earn this championship opportunity. And, of course, the last time we saw these four women in the ring, it was Harley Cameron that pinned Athena and eliminated them in the opening rounds of this tournament. Why Mercedes Moné is coming on a 0-2 losing streak, losing technically 3 women's championships from her Moné portfolio. Looking to add another piece of gold.
So explain to me how that makes sense. They beat them in the first round of the tournament to crown champions. And freaking Mercedes is on a losing streak, but somehow they're tag team #1 contenders.
Well, I guess Athena and Mercedes Moné decided to cast their chips in one more time. You can call it double or nothing. But in the meantime, here's double the pleasure for you as we get ready for women's tag team action with the Bears of Wrath and a different tag team that I know you're much more looking forward to than I, considering how much you followed Hyan and Maya World. Of course, it's not the first time we've seen these two incredible athletes out of the Texas area here in tag team action in AEW.
I remember Maya World.
And I, of course, know Harley Cameron, and JJ knows Little Nightingale. As here comes our inaugural AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions, the Bears of Wrath. And of course, the Bears of Wrath
like that.
are currently 2-0 as a duo. Of course, being the Timeless Love Bombs, that winner is coming and making history. Harley Cameron, who shared her second professional wrestling match ever with Willow Nightingale, finds her first accolade now with the most unorthodox of friends here in AEW.
Where's the mini puppet with the mini titles? Come on, man.
Stop it, stop it, Walter.
I wanted to, damn it.
Oh, bloody hell. I'm surrounded by Muppets.
Well,
Anyway.
we're in the Hammerstein Ballroom. Where's the little balcony with Statler and Waldorf?
Anyway, bell rings. We're underway as I trying to focus on my job here. Harley Cameron going for the side headlock right now on Hyan, of course. Hyan, most people know out of the Texas area, like I said, previous challenger for the Andrew Strong Women's Championship. Of course, been involved in World Wrestling Association. Split reversal, Harley Cameron. Of course, Harley Cameron on the Era Hawani podcast recently talked about how bad she wanted to get cover. Better at this, despite all her other talents, of course, and loving, of course, entertaining, as, of course, she is a comedian. You can see her sometimes on the All Elite Comedy Show. There will be one this weekend towards World's End, by the way, with her and RJ City and Colt Cabana. Nice sidewalk slam with a smile, covered by Willow. Gets a 2 count. And, of course, not the first time that Hyan and Maya World had, of course, tag team, not only here in AEW, but also in the past. Previously faced out Winston and Rico and Ty J, tag made. I would love to see more of these two involved in AEW as well. And Power, but with a Nightingale, tag made by Harley Cameron. A scoop slam here.
There's a lot of cake in this ring.
Oh, for love of Pete. Harley Cameron, Kaza, Dora, assist by Willow Nightingale, cover. 2 count only on Maya World. Maya World, of course, we saw in VIP wrestling, formerly involved in, of course, Mission Pro Wrestling. And we've
Quite
seen
a few of the women's promotions that we've covered, Maya World has been a part of.
Very much. Stereo kicks by Hyan. Maya World trying to get better the chance. The double Irish whip holds onto the ropes. Side steps, lands on the apron. And look at this modified assist here by Willow Nightingale to Harley Cameron. Man's a wrap. Smile anyways.
You love when tag teams use each other as a weapon. There you go.
Especially women. And Willow Nightingale, the cannonball on the strike. Wiping out Hyan and Maya World on the outside. And Harley Cameron now. The body bump there.
Whenever
There's the rapid controls. This match continues on Collision. Wrestle Quiet picture-in-picture. Fox Television.
If AEW needs a stunt double to take a cannonball, I'll volunteer.
Walter, you're a married man. I'm just saying. Good grief.
Shit, I think Lee would volunteer too.
Oh, bloody hell. And Maya World,
at least for some of these women.
Right.
She like
Maya World, who calls herself that girl, cover 2 count only, stands at 23 years of age, 3 years involved in the game, of course, out of the Texas area. Why, of course, Hyan has had many accolades, similar to Burt Vixen, freelancer in her own right from the Houston area, 11 years of professional wrestling experience. And right now, Harley Cameron teeing off against Maya World, covering up here in the corner.
6, 7, You should have hit her with 12. It's Christmas. You could have got the 12 days. Of
I'm
Christmas.
sure if Harley Cameron had her way, it would have happened. But Maya World's like, nah, none of that, girl. Kicks the boots right now in the midsection. Tag made to Hyan. And tag made. Quick tag succession here. Smart by this duo who, honestly, when I look at these two teams, almost the same level probably of tag team experience. So, again, very few margin right here when it comes to tag team wrestling. Of course, tag team wrestling is a whole different dynamic than singles wrestling. Just put it out there, guys. Up and around.
Agreed. And we got to figure out a date to do the debate that Sandy wanted about the AEW women's division.
Cover 2 count only. JJ, do you really want to debate? I'm not a debater. I'm a commentator.
I do want to debate. I'm a master debater.
Yeah,
I knew he was gonna go there.
The debate the masters for all I care. Freaking, I'm not a debater, man. I'm just a wrestling fan. I'm a commentator. And right now, Harley Cameron's back being hyperextended.
You may not be a debater, but you are passionate and you have opinions. You're opinionated. So all you have to do is express those opinions with the passion that you bring, and all of a sudden you debate.
I'm not for that, but we'll see. If people, again, I'm the voice of the people. I'm for the people. If they want it, then we'll do it. That's simple as that. All right. And as far as that goes, we'll see what everyone thinks. Again, folks, Harley Cameron also only 3 years involved in the wrestling business. Not bad for somebody, by the way, with less than 100 matches on the mainstream stage of the wrestling business, AEW. And has had, honestly, the best breakout year for a female competitor just breaking into the business. I mean, next to freaking Megan Bain, Harley Cameron's been my breakout star of 2025 for the AEW Women's Division.
Well, we'll have to see if she won Female Breakout Star of the Year for the Simply Reliable Studios Awards.
Cheap plug. Great segue.
See if the fans agree.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised. And of course, Willow Nightingale, her bubbly unorthodox powerhouse, who re-signed AEW, comes here with 10 years of experience, former NWO Strong Women's Champion, TBS Champion. And we are back here at
Inaugural
AEW.
NJPW Strong Women's Champion.
Correct. Clubbing away at the Green Mercedes Monet. And right now getting the better of Hyan, the two powerhouses of each side involved here. I like this dynamic. Off the ropes, pop up and planted with a power bomb. Buster. Go ahead.
Walter will volunteer for that cannonball. I'll volunteer for that hip attack.
And it looks like you're right, JJ. We do have a match in the 0 hour as Hyan and Maya World will take on the Sisters of Sin in tag team action. So it looks like we do get one match. This is women's tag. Cover 2. I'm for it. Oh, rolling elbow by Maya. Reversal roller by Hyan. Great combination. And 2 count. That was
a nice combo.
Hyan and Maya World are getting the rep skin here in AEW, taking on all the tag teams. I like this. Of course, Sister Sin made people had pretty much locked in to be the inaugural tag team champions. Whoa! The reverse suplex by Willow, or at least part of the finals. Of course, Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron beat them in the semifinals.
Hey,
and of course, the Canadian tour coming up with Dynasty, Collision, and Dynasty in the Canada area.
Yeah, pay attention, Ash and Nick.
Sidewalk backbreaker. Harley Cameron piggybacked on Willow Nightingale. And oh God, double stack senton. Cover 2 and Hyan with the save.
Well, none of the shows are in Toronto, which is where Nick is, but one of them is in Winnipeg, which is where Ash is, I believe.
Yep.
And why Hyan got pounced probably back to a province of Canada.
Pounce!
Period. Maya World left alone. Ooh, nice high kick by Harley. Rising knee strike. Willow Nightingale and Harley. Double arm breaker. Soul Food. Swinging net breaker. Wow. Cover 2. That's it.
Powerhouse.
Great combination. Great finishing sequence. Not even sure what you call that.
Effective.
Exactly.
Accurate. And no doubt the champions looking very strong tonight ahead of World's End. Again, the inaugural defense, the AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions, Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron taking on Athena and Mercedes Monet.
I call it a victory.
Again, very bright future for this tag team division led by these two, no doubt. Great respect shown to Hyan and Maya World. A commendable effort. We'll see more of them on Saturday during the 0 hour. Of course, we'll be covering that here, folks, at the Super Reliable Studios. Please stay tuned.
Oh, they got mics.
Oh, sounds like Will Nightingale on the camera got some words to share this Christmas day.
Well, they got to ask the fans.
Oh, all right.
What are we?
All right, let's go ahead. Curl by Christmas Fire.
Should be Babes of Rage.
Bays here.
Are we getting
A Christmas story.
Setting?
I'm here for story time with Willow.
Hello and Wally.
Put me to sleep. Go ahead.
I mean, it definitely set the mood. They went on a Christmas adventure. He goes traverse the city. Saw all the sights. Central Park, Empire State Building. United Kingston's mother's house. Shout out to Kingston. Ran into a scraggly magical man called Santa. Well, the Nightingale apparently is Santa, and Harley taking a seat on her leg.
I'll tell you what I wish for.
Shut up, Walter.
I wish Willow would have a seat on my leg.
JJ! What does Santa want for Christmas?
I could have been worse, no. I could have said I wish Willow would have a seat on something else.
Oh, bloody hell.
At least I kept it PG and just said the leg.
Fair enough. Except in Chicago at World's End.
Bloody shit?
Damn!
Did she say bloody hell or bloody shit?
I'm pretty sure that was SHIT. There's a reason they censored it. Who are we? Babes? What do we have? Raph! And when the world ends, we will still be your AEW Women's World Champions. Quote unquote, Babes of Wrath. Well, that was nice story time with Little Nightingale and Harley Cameron as they look to give us a happy ending this Saturday at World's End. Again, inaugural defense against Mercedes Moné and Athena. Still the Continental, Speedball My Pillar goes one-on-one with Kazuchika Okada. But coming up next, Fred Screen Orange Cassidy versus the Death Rider, John Moxley. Renewed action in the Blue League. Both these men looking to advance. We return from this commercial break on Christmas Collision. Fuck television. Well, that was
All
a
right,
nice little
so
story.
I know what I'm gonna do for Christmas for next year.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna download Storytime with Harley and Willow.
Oh, bloody fucking hell.
Okay. And I'm just gonna keep the audio. I'm not gonna keep the video. And then I'm gonna take the Christmas with the Hangman video that they show on the YouTube with Hangman sitting in front of Swerve's burning house that they use as a Yule log.
Oh, my God.
And I'm gonna pipe the audio over that. So it's like a story on the radio as you have the Yule log playing.
Oh, my gosh. What am I surrounded by, people?
Idiots. You're surrounded by idiots.
Accurate, freaking accurate. Bloody hell.
But you know what?
Anyway.
But you know what? Being surrounded by idiots have almost 50 people watching us on Christmas Day.
What? Really? Oh, I'll be damned. Again, I never look at the
so shout out
all right
to the almost 50 of you that are watching us. You know, apparently there is an audience for this today, Sandy. If I'm being honest, I didn't think we'd have that many people watching us.
I'm just doing this because I love professional wrestling.
50 people almost watching us, 38 of them on the SRS X page.
Wow.
Which to those of you on the X page, pay attention to the little graphics that we have at the top here. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channels and follow us for all kinds of different content. Walter sometimes will stream video games, his Simply Reliable Gaming. Noah, of course, has his Simply Predicting and his ATW View Impromptus. I, of course, have my movie reviews and my music shows. All kinds of stuff that you can find on our individual channels that don't go across the YouTube here or the X here. So make sure you subscribe. Jeff Meacham coming back January 5th with a variety of new content.
Thank you, JJ, for that quick plug here as he talks about, of course, our environment known as the Simply Reliable Studios, as we look to be the only reliable source, the most reliable source at that as well, for all your professional wrestling engagement, awareness, updates, and entertainment. And I hope tonight is justified with our coverage of Christmas Collision, as again, we are down to 2 matches left in the Continental Classic. Both matches will determine, obviously, the second seed for the Blue and the Gold League, if not the top and second seed for the Gold League. Again, John Moxley versus Sweet Orange Cassidy. These two going all the way back to the AEW International Championship when John Moxley beat him for that title all out when Orange Cassidy won it back at Full Gear. Hostilities renewed, of course, last year over the AEW Women's World Championship, of course, at Full Gear when John Moxley beat Orange Cassidy there. And a follow-up, of course, at World's End last year where John Moxley retained the AEW Men's World Championship in fatal 4-way action. Again, JJ, John Moxley, Fresh Orange Cassidy, they go into this both at 6 points. Konosuke Castagnoli is locked at 13. Claudio Castagnoli is stuck at 7. So obviously the winner of this match, return to Christmas Collision, will be the second seed of the Blue League. So call it now. Your premonition. Who advances?
That's not true. That's not true. Because we could end up with another draw. Then we'd have a 3-way tie at 7 points.
I just don't think that's just going to happen. But all right, I'll humor that because
I'm just saying let's not automatically assume
all right,
one of these two individuals is going to get 3 points.
All right.
If I'm picking someone to get 3, with the run that Mox has been on as of late, I actually think Orange Cassidy might upset him. Because Mox has been losing a lot since losing the championship.
And he been tapping.
So I could see Orange Cassidy upsetting Mox and picking up a dub here.
As of course, Renee Paquette giving us the analysis pre-match as always. Thank you to remarkable Renee Paquette about how Orange Cassidy may have evolved as a competitor and why John Moxley might become humbled as we get ready for
What a
this
surprise. They have the wife of Moxley talking before Moxley's match.
To be fair, it's not the only match she's taught during, but as far as night goes, you would be correct. And here comes the Death Rider himself, who has pushed AEW to be violent, but also be better. We heard, by the way, last night, Marina Shafir's match, how much she literally yelled at Mina Shirakawa, "I ain't tapping, bitch. Do better, bitch." And obviously, Mina Shirakawa was unable to do that. Can freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, though, get the better of the former 4-time AEW Men's World Champion and inaugural Continental Classic finalist. Again, if Orange Cassidy beats, keyword beats, John Moxley, then Orange Cassidy will advance in the Blue League as the 2nd seed. If John Moxley, of course, beats Orange Cassidy, he will advance. But to JJ's point in humoring, if they go to the 20-minute, it will be a 3-way tie with Claudio Castagnoli, but Claudio would win in that because he has beaten both John Moxley and Freshly Squeezed Orange Cassidy. So there's a lot on the line here right now. As of course, Máscara, Dorada, and Roderick Strong are effectively eliminated, but Roderick Strong's win over Claudio has kept John Moxley particularly alive, while we've looked at both these Death Riders in the same league. And of course, John Moxley says, by the end of it all, when it's all said and done, I will have not left nothing off the table. Of course, Orange Cassidy, the most notorious AEW international champion in this company's history, 2-time champion with over 40-plus defenses across 2 reigns, literally broke his body in the process.
Anybody deserves a break right now with him.
Yeah, if anyone's not 100% right now, it's John Moxley, for Pete's freaking sake. Orange Cassidy and John Moxley again.
How long ago?
Yeah, right? I have no idea what the last vacation was. Referee Bryce Rensburg for this contest, by the way. The last time these 2 men went one-on-one was AEW Full Gear last year. Bell rings were underway. Immediately, Orange Cassidy going for the roll-up. Cross-leg roll-up, 2! Oh! He almost got it right there. Now John Moxley hooking up Orange Cassidy for the pile driver. And I do wonder if Orange Cassidy's leg will hold up here. Now trying for the pump handle, God style. Orange Cassidy will slip up from underneath.
Was Moxley about to do the neutralizer?
Either that or the God style power driver. Shizu Minoru Suzuki. Oh, man. Big right hand. Schoolboy roll by Orange Cassidy. Cover 2. Count only. Up and around. And both these men know each other so damn well. So they're really going to have to try and surprise one another. Both men to the outside right now. Again, folks, 20-minute time limit. 3 points on the line. 3 points for a win. 1 point, of course, for a draw. And 0 for a loss. Again, whoever wins here, if there is a definitive winner, JJ, they will advance.
I know. And if I have to pick one person, I've got Orange.
And why do you say that?
I gave you my reason during the intermission. Mox has been on a losing streak since losing the title.
But Kyle Fletcher
He's gotten very few dubs in the months since All in Texas.
Yeah, but here's the thing, JJ. You just talked about Kyle Fletcher was on a losing streak. Not only did he win tonight, he literally right now could be a lock to move forward with the shoulder block. If nothing else, at the 2nd seed, as he has 7 points.
Right, but Kyle Fletcher has been winning most of the year. You know, he only really started eating a couple of L's here in those last couple tournament matches.
So you're
Mox has pretty much been losing everything since June, July when All In was.
Okay, I see what you're doing. You're looking beyond the Continental Classic record. You're looking at the year, or at least the later half of the year, especially since John Moxley has tapped out and lost to Kyle O'Reilly on 3 different occasions.
Thank you. There's a perfect example right there. Who would have thought that John Moxley, 12 months ago If we had started the year and been like, what are your predictions for 2025? Who would have said John Moxley is going to top to Kyle O'Reilly? Not once, but 3 times.
And Orange Cassidy right now looking to brain John
Nobody
Moxley.
would think that.
Well, again, the violent artist, John Moxley said himself, he brings out literally the best and the worst. The Continental Classic also does that to anybody. We saw the monster Kyle O'Reilly became to beat and bludgeon freaking John Moxley, and he still got injured for it. And he was also going in with an injury, as we heard, dealing with, of course, a bad shoulder and a bad neck. There's a reason why Roderick Strong was arguably put in Kyle O'Reilly's place. And thanks to that prep top of Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong beat Claudio Castagnoli. Cassidy set up and over, looking to also win for the conglomeration. And John Moxley looking to pick up speed, man!
I don't think
Driving Cassidy with that drop kick.
You were asking about his leg holding up. Yeah. The way he landed on the apron and stuff, his leg isn't holding up.
Well, either way, John Moxley right now not showing any signs of weakness or pain. Really thrives off that forge in combat, of course. Definition of this Death Rider, trained by, of course, Lord William Regal, disciplined by Bryan Danielson. Not to mention, Marina Shafir's rise. Marina Shafir has also been, in part, training the Death Riders. Again, we're talking about which 4 men are going to advance. We know for sure Konosuke Takeshita has advanced to the semifinals as he has surpassed everybody across the entire field and has nearly gone perfect in the block. And John Moxley right now teeing up against Orange Cassidy here in the corner. Again, John Moxley going inside the ring, breaking up the count. Not looking for a count out here. Interesting. Oh! And driving the boot.
Himself or the rest of the Death Riders that he's still the leader.
Well, at the end of the day, this Death Rider just mission statement almost makes them all seem like equals. But the fact of the matter, if John Moxley advances and Claudio didn't, I still say that affirms John Moxley's position. Oh, Stand-Up Millionaire. But to JJ's point, Orange Cassidy beats John Moxley, and John Moxley loses out on this, where we saw John Moxley almost humbled in a way in that backstage interview at one time. You almost wonder if John Moxley will take a ride out finally in the sunset for a little bit. And Orange Cassidy going off the ropes. John Moxley with the drop down, though. Pick that speed and driving his elbow for Orange Cassidy's head.
He needs to, man. He really does need a break, to be honest.
Well, we talk about John Moxley, how it feels like he's trying to outrun today to make it to tomorrow with Father Time, as we literally saw Claudio Castagnoli and John Moxley. What do? They went right to training as soon as the match was over. Every day, the work continues. The work never stops. Quote unquote, Death Rider MO, and the Death Riders have proven that. As John Moxley has been on every freaking show. Again, wrenching the nose and the face of Orange Cassidy here.
And has bled for the majority of them.
Yeah, definitely has shown the wear and tear of battle in more ways than one with a scarlet impression. Again, John Moxley really has his back against the wall to JJ's point when it comes to ending the year on a strong note in some capacity, at least making it to where he was in the Continental Classic in the finals. And a heavy rake by Orange Cassidy down the epidermis of John Moxley.
Moxley literally bleeds at every match. The dude is bleeding out his elbow right now.
DDT! And leaping DDT, implant DDT on John Moxley. Orange Cassidy unable to follow up. Are any of these men going to punch to the world's end? Stay tuned. Restaurant quality, picture-in-picture, probably in a moment, as we again say, fuck television.
Yep. Picture-in-picture.
I mean, again, do I not call it or do I not call it? Again, this is their fourth ever one-on-one encounter. The record currently stands with these two men, John Moxley 2, Orange Cassidy 1. Oh.
See, so Orange Cassidy getting the victory here would tie them up. All the more reason to give him the dub.
I mean, the numbers don't lie, but we've also seen statistics not go to a draw, JJ, as well. So again, with the Continental Classic this year, if we've seen anything truly is possible at any moment. Unpredictability has been the definition of this year's tournament.
Mm-hmm. Yo, seriously.
John Moxley right now trying to ask Orange Cassidy here to bring it, see what he's got. As John Moxley not only is testing his opponent, he tests himself in his own violent way. Vicious chop. Yeah, and Orange Cassidy drops to a knee. This is an unorthodox competitor with such a strong level of in-ring IQ and technique. Absolutely ridiculous workhorse of AEW. Knife edge chop, and again, Moxley going after the arm.
AEW, to be honest.
He's definitely one of them, to be fair. I give you that.
Him and Ospreay this year.
And again, shout out to all the abrupt, successful neck surgery. Wish Will Ospreay the best in his recovery. And shout out again to Winza winning the undisputed Rev Pro British Women's Heavyweight Championship against Mercedes Moné, now a 3-time champion. Congratulations to her. What a gift for the holiday season. For JJ and you as well. And right now, the hammerlock being applied here, but John Moxley exposing his core, but drives Orange Cassidy down with a knee. Of course, still to come tonight, our main event, Speedball versus Kazuchika Okada. Again, either of those men win, they will advance alongside Kyle Fletcher. If Speedball wins, we are guaranteed a brand new Continental Classic champion. As we got a full commercial break now, again, fuck television. What's these screenshots?
Why do they do that? Why would you go into a half thing and then go to a full? Just go to the full in the first place.
I blame the networks at the end of the day. Tony Khan might run the company, but at the end of the day, he knows where the money comes from. At the end of the day, Warner Bros. Discovery has to make sure that they please their partners. Again, fuck television. I will never, ever approve or support corporate America top 1%. And advertisements are definitely part of that. Anyway. We've got a moment to breathe here once again. Took it at the action here in the Continental Classic. Again, folks, the scores currently stand. John Moxley 6. Claudio Castagnoli ends at 7. Konosuke Takeshita ended at 13. Roderick Strong ends in 3. Máscara Dorada ends, of course, at 6. And freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy and John Moxley right now are fighting for possibly second place. Again, if it goes to a draw, John Moxley would have the tiebreaker, of course, over freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, as both Claudio and Kim beat Orange Cassidy, but Claudio Castagnoli has beaten both John Moxley and Orange Cassidy, thus Claudio would advance. As we are back here once again, this one-on-one matchup right now, Orange Cassidy and John Moxley.
They're just literally swinging back and forth at each other.
Test your mind, test your strong spirit, test your grit, Walter. You know how this goes, all right? And thank you, JJ. We've been for this song and dance more than enough times when it comes to bringing the best out of you in the Continental Classic. And shout out to Tony Schiavone. Wait. Hold on. Hands in the pockets. Orange Cassidy engaged. Single leg kick. And now trying to tie up the hamstring to that compromised leg I was talking about earlier.
Those kicks aren't those nonchalant kicks either.
Yeah, those are the serious kicks. When Orange Cassidy tries, he tries. Orange Cassidy again. Look at the focus of his attack, though, by the way, guys. All these drop kicks are, to my point, that damaged leg.
I think they're halfway the 10-minute mark.
Yep, we are halfway through this match right now. 10 minutes remaining, and Orange Cassidy is constantly focusing on that left leg.
Damn, the ref pulled Cassidy off, man.
Well, again, he only has till 5. One elbow, though, drops Orange Cassidy, and John Moxley unable to stay on his own 2 feet.
This means a lot. I don't think I've seen Cassidy this focused like this before. He's not even doing nonchalant kicks or fucking around. Like, he's serious right now.
And, of course, it's the first time that Orange Cassidy's been involved in the Continental Classic. Orange Punch connects! You saw that John Moxley was looking for that King Kong Bundy lariat, launching out of the corner, unable to execute due to that bad left leg.
Yeah, but look at the veteran instincts rolled out of the ring.
A little bit of red spot. Orange Cassidy not looking to offer none, though. Toby Suicida takes John Moxley down, unable to get his hands up. John Moxley down. Orange Cassidy also down, though, for right now. And again, less than 10 minutes remain. If this goes to a draw, Claudio advances. If a win here will advance either Orange Cassidy or John Moxley alongside Konosuke Takeshita.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
And thank you, young man. Accurate. Again, subscribe today to everybody that you heard and saw, courtesy of the Great Intermission. Far better than commercials. Fuck television. By the Record Wrestling, JJ Williams. Again, John Moxley right now in Orange Cassidy. Precarious situation here amongst the All Elite Fleet and Hammerstein Ballroom. Referee Bryce Renz, we're trying to bring both these men back inside the ring. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, man! Holy hell! Implant DDT in the Timeskeepers area!
Yep, we might get a tie because I don't know how they're going to recover.
And now they're both in literal keep, and Bryce Rensburg, to your point, Walter's going back inside to start the 10 count.
That's not cool.
Woo. Take a look at the replay here, by the way. Very unstable footing as Orange Cassidy drives John Moxley down head first through that table in the Timekeepers area. And both men staggering to their feet. With purpose, referee count up to 4. Again, 10 count right now in play. Jon Moxley literally crawling his way. Up to 6. Up to 7. Jon Moxley just trying to roll his way back up to his feet. Unable to stand up. Up to 8. Up to 9. Are we going to get a count out here? Oh, Cassidy and Moxley just break the count.
You got a better chance of seeing the Blue Thunderbolt win than somebody getting double counted out.
I'm not even going to reply to that freaking comment right now.
Because you know it's accurate.
Again, both these men dragging themselves back inside the ring, and neither man up to a vertical base. The crowd chanting, "This is awesome," and I agree. This is professional wrestling. This is the Continental Classic. This is AEW Christmas Collision, and this is our final match in the blue to see who joins Konosuke Takeshita in the semifinals. Orange Cassidy trying to find the will and resolve to do a kip him and get up to his feet. And the lower back compromise, but Orange Cassidy stands up. Jon Moxley on the attack. He was just waiting in the wings, ready to pull out choke.
Oh, he looked like he tapped to me.
And it looks like a discretion cover, 2 rope through. Whoa.
Was he grabbing his arm or he tapped? Because he looked like he tapped.
Yeah, it's one of those things where instinct takes over, Walter. Referee discretion aside, Orange Cassidy did not tap out, but he obviously panicked. And
it looked more like he was just flailing his arm.
Yeah, that. Thank you, JJ. And Orange Cassidy looking for that orange punch, connects. Rocks Jon Moxley, who staggers again to his feet. Oh, God, I want that one hilarious. Crushing blow to Orange Cassidy. And again, Jon Moxley digging down deep, looking to hoist up Orange. Uh-oh. Pump handle. Making a fake God style pile driver. 1, 2, John, no! Ooh.
What are we at? 6 minutes left?
And probably close to that. Orange Cassidy with a compromised neck. Jon Moxley with a compromised leg. Desperation's got to be sinking in for both these men. Definition, do or die. You win, you ride. You lose, you die. And once again, looking for that bulldog choke, trying to grab the forearm underneath the throat, block the carotid artery, punch into the brain. Orange Cassidy, though, creating separation. And again, the bison is still applied. And again, attacking the leg, to your point, almost a heel hook.
Now
5 minutes left in this match. Again, once again, we're going to go down to the wire, it feels like here, and this is the appropriate night to do it. This is your last chance. Great takeover by Orange Cassidy with the single leg hook, reverse, ankle applied. Steps through. Looking like they couldn't turn him over, now turning him over, and there's the half crab to your point.
So what you're saying, Noah, is that they have one shot, one opportunity to see everything they ever wanted in one moment? And you want to know if they'll capture it or if they'll let it slip?
We're not in Detroit, and rap and hip-hop is whack, but I'll allow that sentiment to actually freaking coexist here tonight because it's accurate. Jon Moxley, though, showing the fire in his eyes, trying to go for the rope breaker. Orange Cassidy dragging him back towards center. That's a high-angle single-leg crab, by the way. All the pressure on Jon Moxley's knees as he creates separation.
Is that Moxley, he couldn't flip him over, so he had to grab the other leg. That's not really hurt.
Oh! The twisting DDT takes Jon Moxley down. Again, great resolve here and innovation by both men.
It's hurting now, though.
Orange Cassidy looking for the orange punch again. Moxley drops face first, but Orange Cassidy knows that's not going to be enough. Looking to fall for again. Another orange punch connects.
He's going for a third one, isn't he?
He wants to make sure he beats Jon Moxley once and for all. Jon Moxley trying to stand up. A third orange punch connects. He's got to be out on his feet, literally. What are you doing, man? Go for the cover. Down to his knees, Jon Moxley goes. Orange Cassidy, one last chance with a 4th orange punch. And hoisting out Jon. Big break. And Jon Moxley went down too. No.
Yeah, but look, he held onto the leg.
And like Orange Cassidy knew Jon Moxley was not going to stay down. Ankle lock, roll through, head captured, inside cradle too. Jon Moxley did it!
No, they pinned each other.
No, John Moxley had the shoulders down, Walter. John Moxley advances.
Bro, it looked like all four
Both sets of
were
shoulders
down.
were down, but the referee's position only saw oranges.
Exactly.
Yeah.
By one leg and by referee vision, John Moxley joins Konosuke Takeshita officially in the semifinals at World's End, the Continental Classic. There's your final standings. John Moxley 9, Claudio Castagnoli 7, Konosuke Takeshita 13, Roderick Strong 3, Máscara Dorada 6, Orange Cassidy 6.
So they're
There
gonna
it
fight each
is.
other again, the Claudio and John.
Let's do our main events. Few of my favorites, Kazuchika Okada, who will join these two men in the Gold League as we finish the Continental Classic preliminaries after this commercial break. Fuck television. Again, to JJ's point, referee's call is final. Referee sees shoulders down, calls the shoulders he sees. Orange Cassidy's shoulders was down in that pinfall vision predicament. Bryce Remsburg called it. John Moxley wins. Wow.
Dude, Cassidy got screwed by vision impairment.
Well, unfortunately, the referee doesn't have freaking 20/20 vision. This is where most people think these matches need two referees. But again, you only can do so much when you have two eyes and you're looking at one position.
I guess Instagram women are right. It's all about angles.
I'm not
Right.
even sure how to
Angles
I'm
and
not-
filters.
I'm not even sure how to answer that, so I'm just gonna let that slide and go along with that. All right, so there you go, folks. We know our blue league now. The winner of the blue league was Konosuke Takeshita. The runner-up was John Moxley. Again, the top seed of the blue league will face the runner-up of the gold league. The runner-up of the blue league will face the top seed of the gold league. And as we know, in the gold league right now, it's Kazuchika Okada, Speedball Mike Bailey, Kyle Fletcher, at 9 points, Kevin Knight and Pac at 7. Again, if Kazuchika Okada and Speedball Mike Bailey go to a draw, then JJ would be correct and we would have a similar tie. But Kazuchika Okada, who lost to Kevin Knight, but beat Pac, Speedball Mike Bailey, who beat Kevin Knight, lost to Pac. You got to look at the most recent match. The problem here, though, is the most recent match was Kevin Knight and Pac. So in that case, looking at the most recent matches all those men had, Speedball Mike Bailey beat Kevin Knight. Kazuchika Okada, he lost to Kevin Knight. I would have to go off recency here. So based on recency, I still think that Kazuchika Okada would probably advance. It's going to be weird. I'm very curious to see how this is going to be handled. But we'll find out after this commercial break as Cruz Collision reaches its main event. Woof! Good Lord, this tournament's worn me out and freaking stat mined my brain into oblivion. And again, to my friend Sandy's point, that's all about these rivalry tournament situations. Final goalie match coming up. Okada wins. He gets Takeshita in the semifinals. It barely wins. He beats John Moxley in the semifinals. That's 2 first-time ever one-on-one matches. And also, if Okada wins, Kyle Fletcher will face John Moxley. If Speedball Mike Bailey wins, he'll take on Takeshita. So right now, there's a whole different dynamic to this. No matter what, if either man picks up the win, it comes down to this match not being a draw, period.
So who would Claudio face?
Claudio's eliminated, dude.
Yeah, because Mox won's flat
Yeah,
out.
because Max won. Yeah, that's right.
But Walter's losing himself. The numbers are too much to handle.
He's losing himself in the music.
I'm about to say, there's no
The
music in it.
moment
Not
I
just
owned
professional wrestling. Oh, my gosh. Anyways, we got a moment to breathe here again, folks. I thank you all for tuning in. If you haven't already, follow us on the X. It's SR Studios 2024. Again, hope you all enjoyed the coverage, reactions, and analysis. As, of course, we look towards AEW World's End, we talk about, again, the World's End before the new year begins. Who will be the leaders of AEW, not only for the women, but of the men. As we saw our favorite scumbag return home and cast all his chips in, signing on the dotted line and turning this to a fatal four-way, as it will be Samoa Joe versus Swerve Strickland versus him and Adam Page versus MJF.
Oh, they going over what happened when MJF came back.
And they also, of course, are going over what happened last night when Swerve Strickland says, I will always be a better human being than you, but is MJF better than you, and you know it. Also, JJ, I did further research. By his name, Maxwell Jacob Freeman. he and Shane Strickland did meet one time in one-on-one action all the way back in 2018.
I told you that it just seemed weird that he would
Yeah.
use his
filthy.
name Shane, and they had never met before.
Yeah, I had to go by name because remember, here it's MJF. Back then, they used Master Jacob Freeman, so I had to double check. So thank you, by the way, for encouraging me to do that. That being said, Red Mecca! Here we go, folks. Main event time on Christmas Collision and our final preliminary match in the Continental Classic.
Beach.
Thank you, Walter.
I will say I've been doing a little looking into stuff, and I'm a little bit disappointed about something with AEW. Okay, because unfortunately with my situation here, I'm not allowed to receive mail here. So I have to, if I want something ordered, I've got to get it shipped elsewhere.
Boom.
So I was looking on Amazon because, you know, some stores have those Amazon lockers that you can pick them up in.
Yes.
Amazon has a Willow Nightingale t-shirt, but it's out of stock and they don't know if they're going to restock it.
Well, that just goes to show how popular she is.
So that disappoints me, though, because if she's that popular, you'd think they'd restock it.
I'm sure they will.
But I want to get the shirt so I can be representing the Babes of Wrath and know where I can go and pick it up when it's delivered, and I can't order it.
Have you looked in the clearance part? Sometimes there's some shit you be like, oh wait, why is that on clearance? But
All right, buckle up, guys. Get ready to fight. Here we go. It's a rematch from Double or Nothing, but this time it is to move forward in the Continental Classic. Feel my belly, of course.
Pounds.
Yeah, about to say. Lightning fast striking capability by this multiple black belt karate expert, former X Division champion, of course. Again, Fletcher leads the block at 9. Whoever wins this will join Fletcher in the semifinals. If this goes to a draw, we will have a 4-way tie.
This is crazy. This
No kidding.
is awesome.
Freaking love it. Of course, Kazuchika Okada, as I said, is reigning defending Continental Classic champion. Thus, he is reigning defending Continental champion. The inaugural title he won when he came into AEW in 2023. He's been Continental champion now for 646 days.
Canada.
That reign is about to come to an end.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about this, though, guys, if we have a fatal 4-way tie, to JJ's point, we would have a fatal 4-way playoff, and then that person would join Kyle Fletcher, I would imagine, in the semifinals, which means we might see somebody literally go through 3 matches this night, Saturday, if this goes the draw. Bell rings are underway.
Now, if that were to happen, who do you think would be best suited to do that?
Well, again, it would be Kazuchika Okada, Kevin Knight, the Bastard Pocket, Speedball my belt. You got Jet Speed, you got Pocket and Okada that have history going all the way back. Literally, it's a freaking dynasty, lest we forget. But I still would have to go with Kazuchika Okada because Kazuchika Okada is the man with everything to lose. And in my opinion, that makes him the most dangerous. Especially when trying cover 2, prove a point against Takeshita, who's had the better performance. Cover 2, count only.
Come on, baby. Canadians
Sunset
really are
flip.
too nice.
Roll through. Bro Jack 9 by Okada. 2 count by referee Stephon Smith for this contest. Looking for the tornado kick. Okada gets out of the way.
Whoa!
Like I said, don't blink during this match, folks.
Okada was like, hell no.
We talk about a lot, Walter. The strengths of Okada is his heart rate and his mental game. James Hebert, shout out to folks, Jay Hebert side 95, my hardest working editing man right now, finishing out 2 editing packages of years, of course, for Side Shenanigans. Kazuchika Okada has been one of the most mentally focused competitors in the game when it matters. Swinging a miss, and Speedball my belly, up and around. Inside Kratos, down the DDT, cover, traps the leg too. Ooh.
Which is why it's awkward. He's letting Takeshita get in his head, like a lot of those distractions.
I wonder if Takeshita's on his mind right now, considering if he loses this, he is guaranteed to lose his championship. Triangle moonsault out of the corner by Speedball my belly. Not to mention, he's going in with a different mindset, considering he's facing Tanahashi next week at Wrestle Kingdom. As Don Callis is on commentary. Fuck Don Callis. course, Speedball Mike Bailey wears no shoes. Of course, builds those catalysts on his feet because it helps him with his poise, positioning, and his striking. One of the best exports to come from Canada, eh? And Speedball out of the corner. Okada gets out of the way. Up and down with a flapjack goes Speedball Mike Bailey.
Damn, right in the nose.
Because Cruz Okada, of course, loves to implore that ripcord lariat, the Rainmaker. Speedball Mike Bailey, of course, has the Flamingo Driver and, of course, Time Adventure. Kazuchika Okada, of course, who came into AEW literally last year in March. Oh! We're going to show the passion of Japanese pro wrestling. Go ahead, Walter.
That standing moonsault knee drop is enough from Bailey sometimes.
Yeah, the Revolution knees that have literally crushed the chest cavity of Kyle Fletcher, which was a critical win for Speedball Mike Bailey here. In fact, it was Speedball Mike Bailey's first 3 points in the Continental Classic. And Speedball Mike Bailey did also not have the strongest performance in the run. And of course, you were surprised since day one when Okada lost to the same person he lost to last year, Kyle Fletcher.
Dude, he lost his opening match. That was crazy.
Speedball Mike Bailey perched on the top turnbuckle here. Kazuchika Okada looking to hook Speedball, pause for a superplex. Speedball fighting back, attacking the compromised exposed core of Okada. Let's see. Watch out, mental drop kick by Speedball Mike Bailey. We also are going to have a Mixed Nuts Mayhem match. You heard me right with the Death Riders. And it says Timeless Toy Storm and the Conglomeration. What the fuck? Axe kick. And round kick by Speedball Mike Bailey. Mixed Nuts match. Now I've heard everything. Running shooting start. Well, Timeless Toy Storm. I mean, you know, she's non-binary, some would say. And right now, Kazuchika Okada. Oh, the net breaker over the leg.
Yo, and then he held it on to delay it, even more pressure on the neck.
Of course, might be looking for that money clip for all we know, or soften him up for that Rainmaker Lariat Scoop Slam. We all know what that leads to. Okada right now in his element, going up to the top rope. Up to the turnbuckle pads and drops the elbow through Speedball Mike Bailey's heart.
Fuck you, coming up.
Now, give me my camera shot. The Hammerstein Ballroom. Fuck you. Shaking bastard! One finger salute that works in any language. Looking for the Rainmaker. Speedball, aware of the urgency of that situation. Elbow side of the head. Oh, and eats an elbow from Okada.
I guess Speedball had his umbrella, huh?
All right, again.
A.
Non-copyright. And right now, Speedball cranes that. This does not work. I'm telling you, this does not work.
Dude, Speedball, you know how they used to say educated feet? His legs are freaking lethal weapons.
I mean, that's accurate, to be fair. I mean, you're not wrong. Oh! For some reason, my finger. Oh, and again, right now, Speedball. Wrist control by Okada, just trying to create some rage. We go to Wrestler Card, picture, fuck television. Oh, man, I catch him with that rolling heel kick.
Mine jumped to picture-in-picture, but it did a weird jump.
Yeah, it seems, but it just goes to
Mine jumped to full commercial before you guys said picture-in-picture, and I've been behind you the whole time.
Fuck television. Well, anyway. But again, both men are down right now in our main event here. Again, the feeds, folks. By the way, folks, World's End 0 Hour does have a match. JJ was right. Sister Sin will take on Hyan and Maya World in women's tag team action. And we just heard we have a Mixed Nuts Mayhem match. That is an 8-person tag, folks. Death Riders, Claudio, Castagnoli, Willie Guda, Pac, and Rhea Shafir take on the Conglomeration. Roderick Strong, Fretzy Squeeze, Orange Cassidy, and of course, Timeless Tony Storm. We also now know we got an AEW World Tag Team Championship match, Chicago Street Fight, FTR versus the Bang Bang Gang, Austin Gunn and Rock Hard Juice Robinson. Of course, the Babes of Rap gave us a great story. Will Jada get a happy ending? Harley Campbell and Nightingale defend against Athena Mercedes Moné and Nagra defense the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships. Gabe Kidd and Darby Allin, God help us, might be the most violent conclusion to the year as they go one-on-one for the first time ever. I guess Darby Allin has a Gabe Kidd problem, wasn't aware of it. Or at least didn't want to pay attention. AEW Women's World
Wrestling World has a gay kid problem.
That's also probably accurate. Chris Statlander and Jimmy Hayter one-on-one for the AEW Women's World Championship, of course. See if Chris Statlander can prove the best out of Jamie Hayter. And as we learned, of course, semifinals and the finals of the Continental Classic will also be at World's End this Saturday. And of course, that all culminates in the AEW Men's World Championship Fatal 4-Way as Samoa Joe defends against Swerve Strickland, Hangman Page, and MJF. What a pay-per-view card.
Gabe Kidd still represents New Japan, right? He didn't. He's
Yeah,
not
he's
all
still
elite,
he's
is
still a
he?
war dog, by the way. He
Uh-huh.
is still New Japan founded. Jumping elbow strap by Okada in the corner, drops people to his knees, gets to the midsection. DDT! Just dropping people on his head. Here's the cover, hook in the far leg, but Vince gets a 2.5 by referee Stephon Smith. And again, folks, stay tuned. That will be the conclusion. There's my brother from another mother, the KG King. Shout out to King A-Train. Of course, stay tuned, folks, for our year-end AEW View. Me, the King, and a couple other friends, of course, next week, Monday night. And, of course, King has been the biggest timeless Tony Storm fan since the Renegade Wrestling J.J. Williams. Mixed
I was
nuts.
going to say, give me my flowers too, Pool. I've been supporting her before you even got on the bandwagon.
Damn. Well, that being said, drop kick denied by Speedball. Went for the PK. I'm just going to focus on the match here while King and JJ have their own mixed match here going on. Oh,
I don't know
man.
when King got into her because I didn't know him, but I'm talking, I was into Timeless Tony before you got into her.
This is accurate because I remember.
Because I am the movie guy, so I got the jokes and the ha-has behind her gimmick.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're over here. I'm not a movie guy. I don't watch movies. I only watch wrestling. When I was once a wee lad, I saw this movie.
Yeah. But fuck movies nowadays. The only thing that matters is professional wrestling. And professional wrestling is defined in AEW, where the best wrestle in the Continental Classic. Yeah, King also knows where I stand when it comes to professional wrestling and who wins in that battle most of the time. Predictions show otherwise. And right now, Speedball scramble against Okada. What is this? Oh, round kick. Okada asked for it.
Oh, he fainted for the other kick, though.
Yeah, about to say, though, here. And Speedball. Oh! Dropped him at that third one. Of course, Okada's always tested his mental against his opponent versus himself. Went for that fake out. Spinning Solvat just connects. The Irish whip reversal by Okada. Speedball out of the ropes. Drop kick!
Beautiful.
Okada, best drop kick in the business. Don't at me. Looking for the whoop. Wait a minute, reverse roll, cover, 2. Okada, reversal, cover, 2. Oh. Stephon Smith right there. Okay. And right now, Speedball. Oh, God. The Revolution needs the canvas.
Always misses the knees at least once.
Yeah, rip. And Speedball up to the apron. Okada again, look for that. Rainmaker! With the tornado.
Nice. Usually people reverse it before he gets to do the pull, but he ducked under it.
Yeah, literally beautiful springboard tornado to the outside, catching Kazuchika Okada off guard with a baseball slide.
That was damn near a spinal tap, shit.
Or, Sky Twister, shout out to the All Elite Bruv, and of course, a brother of sorts to Kazuchika Okada, Will Ospreay. Of course, Will Ospreay was brought into Chaos to New Japan Pro Wrestling by Kazuchika Okada. And again, folks, the winner of this match will advance with Kyle Fletcher. If it's a draw, we will have a 4-way playoff to determine the other semifinalists.
I think we hit the 10-minute mark already.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's close to the halfway point, but I'm sure that Lexi Nara, Justin Roberts will keep us informed. Uh-oh. There's the 10-minute mark to your point, Walter. Speedball looking for the Revolution knee drop on the apron. Okada kick him off, though. Sidestep, hoist up and over, lands inside the ring. Oh! Catch it in Enziguri. Uh-oh. Drop kick! Oh, man!
Bro, I don't think Okada gets enough credit for the height he gets on his drop kicks.
Especially for a man of his stature and his age. Again, none better in AEW right now than Kazuchika Okada, and the accolades prove it. 38 years of age, 21 years in the game, to find a New Japan Pro Wrestling for 17 years or so. And of course, Kevin Knight got the better of Kazuchika Okada, while Speedball Mike Bailey got the better of his Jet Speed partner. Now both men on the entranceway, looking for the tombstone. Speedball escapes, waist slap, back elbow strike, and both of these men are in position. Bailey, though, smart, dug underneath it. Sunset flip, and wait a minute, Speedball. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Oh, God!
Revolution knees to the sternum.
On the walkway. On that unforgiving wooden ramp.
Lucky you ain't missed that. That would have been going. Your knees would have been shot.
Yeah, well, what about Okada right now? He's probably left breathless. Look at this.
You know what this is going to lead to? Okada's going to get in the ring at 9.99999.
Yeah, I'm about to say, the day that I see Okada lose via count is the day I question professional wrestling as a fan. Still not the wind out of him, though, and Speedball got a chance to recuperate, scouting Okada. Time adventure! Okada, that's it, too! Speedball did it! No!
He put an extra revolution. He spun an extra time to confuse Okada before he
Time
threw the kick.
adventure, that spinning back heel kick right to the temple of Okada.
He usually does 2 spins. He did 3 that time, so that he didn't know when the kick was actually coming.
And again, throwing his opponent off guard here. And Speedball might be, of course, former TNA X Division champion, world renowned, of course, for his striking capability.
Hell?
Again, Okada finding out a flamingo driver here. Remember beat Trey Miguel for that. Oh, it's Zaguri again. Hyan Zaguri. I remember when he used that to beat Trey Miguel.
Yep.
Again, Fletcher, of course, who has already gotten the better of the Rainmaker, while lost to Speedball Mike Bailey. Oh, drop down
They're both in
hard.
dangerous territory up there.
And again, Okada, though, is still perched on the top turnbuckle, trying to get his bearings, while Speedball, once again, is trying to make the ascent.
Yo, Speedball
again-
hard-headed. He don't care.
About to say, both these men are hard-headed. Oh, dear. I think Speedball's head hit the canvas, and he's trapped now in the tree of
He's
woe.
gonna stomp on him. He's gonna do that stomp, I think.
Or an elbow drop. Okada right now literally looking down at Speedball, but still getting his wits about him. And both these men right now, precarious state. Again, Speedball just trying to get up, and all Okada's doing is booting him back down. Again, 3 times now, Speedball has been booted in the face and still refuses to go down. With his own defiant fuck you.
Fuck you.
Oh, and a headbutt.
Yo, what are you gonna do? Spanish fly?
I don't know at this point. I sense disaster eye to eye with the Rainmaker. Avalanche! Down goes Okada off the Hurricane Rana.
Now what?
Speedball in position. Might be needs moments away. Looking for ultimate weapon.
He got it. 2 right in the kidneys.
Fall and cover that man. Oh, Okada.
Kinda too much of a veteran, baby.
I was going to say Okada way too smart, rolled himself to the outside.
Yeah, but survival tactics kicked in there, guys. There's no denying that. If Speedball got the quick pin, I think Speedball could have beat him.
Fuck that. Speedball only weighs 177, but both them knees hit the kidneys, man. That shit hurts.
Again, proficient flying and landing by Speedball Mike Bailey here, who is scouting Kazuchika Okada on the outside.
Give it up to Speedball for not taking the easy way out. He could have took a pinfall. Count out. He could have stayed in the ring.
But how bad does Speedball want to beat Okada, considering what happened earlier this year at Double or Nothing, and considering his run this year in the Continental Classic?
Mm-hmm.
We'll never know, though. To your point, though, Walter.
Nope.
Speedball might be like Kazuchika Okada now on the outside. Okada sent back inside by Speedball. Again, dueling chants here by the AEW faithful. Okada right now in a very prone state.
He could be playing possum, though.
Yeah, he very well could be. And again, you do not want to play with the Rainmaker. Uh-oh. Well, there's the face. And right now, Okada hooking out Speedball like backslide roll through. Uh-oh. Rainmaker!
See? Told you. He set him up.
He still has wrist control.
Because he didn't get all the Rainmaker.
Yeah, right.
He
You
didn't
get the
the
full
zip
torque.
tie part.
Break it.
The
Oh!
zip tie.
A super kick and Speedball pushed Okada to the corner. Tornado kick connects.
Yo, he is beating the hell out of Okada right now.
And
Another
Speedball once
revolution?
again looking for ultimate weapon and connects directly. And the cover to Speedball. No!
Dude, those are shots to the kidney, bro.
And somehow Okada survives. Now looking to hook Okada for that Flamingo driver. Okada, dangerous situation, aware of it. Ripcord. Rainmaker denied. Schoolboy, rebound, off the ropes, roll up, deep roll up, score over 2. Ooh! Barely escaped. Went for another kick and miss. Okada once again, subversing. Rainmaker denied. Speedball again, countering Okada. Straight jacket. Drop down. Okada sits in the cover, traps the legs. Okada, that's it!
Yo, he won it. Didn't even need it, the Rainmaker.
Kazuchika Okada and Kyle Fletcher are your Gold League semi-finalists.
Word.
Smile on
So
Okada's face.
The Callis family has to fight.
You literally got 3 members, all 3 members of the Don Callis family now involved in the semifinals. They're your final scores, folks. Kazuchika Okada at 9. Kyle Fletcher also at 9.
That's crazy.
Our semifinals are going to be Kyle Fletcher versus Jon Moxley and Kazuchika Okada versus Konosuke Takeshita.
That's crazy. We getting
So
it.
we don't get him in the finals, but we still get him at the pay-per-view.
Which means one of those men have to lose.
Which means I got my Christmas gift.
And
And
the
of course-
question is, who does
Oh, shit.
Don Callis want to win?
Well-
That's right.
Again, he cannot get involved, and we will find out soon enough who truly...
Wait.
Oh,
Alpha coming to the ring.
oh shit. The IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, the reigning and defending Continental Champion, AEW Unified Champion, face-to-face once again, but this face-to-face will now finally lead to
Hold
a
on.
first-time ever one-on-one encounter.
I'm getting up. I got up for a bit. I had to sit up for this shit.
There's the graphic, Walter. Capture it. You're finally getting it.
I gotta
Okada.
work during it, damn it.
Okada, Takeshita to advance to the finals of the Continental Classic this Saturday at World's End. Who truly is the best and the strongest? And on the other side of the bracket, it will be Kyle Fletcher versus Jon Moxley. One of these 4 men will be this year's Continental Classic champion. Who will it be? We'll find out at World's End as we bid you
I
a
gotta
fine
scrape up.
farewell for a short moment here. For Walter Cruz, Merry Christmas, JJ Williams, I'm the Seminole Foster saying Merry Christmas to you all. Make a positive impact in life. Have a good night. Stay tuned for our simple post show regarding the Continental Classic. Again, thank you all so much for making this possible. We appreciate you always.
I gotta scrape up $40. I can't admit. No
Gotta say.
way. Oh wait. Didn't they give me $20 for the karaoke? Shit, I only gotta pay $20 for the pay-per-view.
I figured covered this Saturday, bro. Just saying. I figured covered this Saturday. All right. With that being said, welcome to officially the first ever AEW post show. It is Noah Foster, Regular Wrestling, JJ Williams, super reliable Walter Cruz. We decided to do this on the account of looking back on the Continental Classic, reflecting on what we have seen, our key performers, our key matches, as well as the outlook, as now we know our semi-finalists here. So first and foremost, JJ, good to see you once again as we, of course, change gears now, removing ourselves from the shows. We have covered now the entirety of the preliminaries now of this tournament, and we look at what's ahead. It's now official, guys. We now know what's ahead in the Continental Classic semifinals. It will be Konosuke Takeshita versus Okada and Kyle Fletcher versus Jon Moxley. So first and foremost, JJ, what has been your thoughts so far towards this tournament? Good God Almighty!
I've been thoroughly impressed. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit. I have been thoroughly impressed. You know, it's no secret that I haven't been the biggest AEW fan. You know, I've watched it, but I haven't been as supportive of the brand as you have. A lot has changed in 2025 for the better for the All Elite brand. And I think the C2 tournament so far has really helped propel them. I feel like the C2 has had some dramatic upsets. You know, I mean, on more than one occasion, I've said that something should be an easy victory, only to be proven wrong. So, as long as the winner is the right winner and they don't shit the bed here in the finals, then I'll be happy.
As long as they
All right.
don't take a
But
shit.
there's still room for this to turn into a turd.
I don't know how you go wrong with these 4 men. All 4 men deserve it.
I will
Okada
tell you
deserves
exactly
it.
how you go wrong.
Try me.
If Moxley wins, if Okada wins, it's the wrong outcome.
And why do you say that? Just
Because because Moxley is already a 4-time champion, doesn't need the Continental Classic, doesn't need that accolade. The Continental Classic should be akin to the King of the Ring. It should be a stepping stone to help elevate talent to a bigger platform, the next level of star making. You look at what it did for Eddie Kingston. Granted, he ended up suffering an injury and being out for a good chunk of time. Where could he be if it wasn't for the injury? You look at what it did for Okada. Okada doesn't need to win back-to-back years. Moxley is already at that level. He's a 4-time champion. He doesn't need it. So as long as either Fletcher, who could use this victory as a way to solidify his ascension out of the Bruv's shadow, or Takeshita, who already won the G1 this year and would be the first time anyone's won the G1 and the C2 in the same year, as long as one of those two win, I'm happy. And I feel like it was the right winner because neither of those men have been world champion in AEW. Therefore, winning the tournament would help boost them to the next level. This has arguably been Takeshita's year anyways. It's been well documented. What better feather in the cap, icing on the proverbial cake before the strike of midnight on New Year's Eve than for Takeshita to take this tournament too?
All right, fair enough. Well, that being said, thank you for that initial outlook. Walter, you have been dreaming for this situation. You finally got the situation. As of course, we are looking at the Don Callis family as a whole situation. As all three members are part of our semifinals. While John Moxley was part of the inaugural tournament, he made it to the finals, but lost to, of course, the inaugural champion, Eddie Kingston. Konosuke and Okada have huge matches next week in the Tokyo Dome on January 4th at Wrestle Kingdom 20. And we've seen the drive of both these men to prove who not only is the strongest, but who is the best professional wrestler, not just out of Japan, but right now going in the business. Damn it. Kazuchika Okada, of course, who matched Mr. August, Matsuhiro Chono for 5 Round tournament wins, win the Continental Classic last year, has a chance to be a consecutive winner and surpass Chono to win his 6th Round tournament, while Konosuke Takeshita has had the year of his life in the wrestling business and can make his own history, being the only man to ever win the G1 Climax and the Continental Classic in the same year. While we got Kyle Fletcher, who've already called to be AEW Men's World Champion some point next year. He's looking to prove a point why he is the best player in the Don Callis family. So what has been your thoughts on the tournament's outlook and the semifinals that are to come, and who you think deserves to win? And do you have a worst case scenario? Go ahead.
I think I'm right in unison with JJ.
What else is new?
I think right. Yeah, as long as it's either Fletcher or Takeshita. Yeah, I'd rather Takeshita, but I said it over and over again that I really feel like Fletcher in 2026 is gonna have the AEW World Title. So if that's gonna come true, this may be the launching pad if he can win this tournament. So it'll be interesting if they go that way. But either way, we'll be in for an awesome thing. But Takeshita has had so much accomplishments here to end the year with all those accolades would be ridiculous.
All right, fair enough. And of course, as we talked about before, folks, the Continental Classic, of course, culminates in crowning the Continental Champion. Reigning defending champion Kazuchika Okada has a chance to make history, coming in, still defending, keeping his hopes alive, beating, of course, Speedball Mike Bailey in the finals tonight. By the way, this whole final night in itself, what a combination. We saw everybody perform, by the way. Lest we forget, all 12 men performing tonight, and everybody pushed themselves to the absolute limit. Hell, we even had a draw tonight during this freaking madness. And the only draw prior to this was Claudio Castagnoli versus freaking Konosuke Takeshita. And of course, Claudio Castagnoli, the man with the most experience in the Continental Classic, he lost again where it mattered the most in the final match. But this time by Roderick Strong, who literally played spoiler for the first time, getting its only 3 points. So, JJ, in a way, would you consider that your most sentimental win so far of the entire tournament?
Yeah. Yeah, because Roddy had gone through the entire tournament just eating L's, being the pinfall guy, being the one who was there to just put everybody over. And, for him to get a win on Christmas night, play spoiler for Double C, that was a great victory for him. And I'm going to be curious to see where his story arc goes from here, because as we documented throughout his match, he's been fighting, being full-time conglomeration. But after Kyle's pep talk, after Briscoe coming out to help fight off the Death Riders when they tried to attack him post-match, gotta wonder if he's going to finally cave and align himself officially with Kyle and the rest of the conglomeration.
Considering we know that Saturday we got Mixed Nuts. I can't believe I just said that. Mixed Nuts, 8-person. That might be the best tagline for a mixed tag I've ever heard in my life. Considering it's Roderick Strong, Mark Briscoe, and a freaking timeless Tony Storm taking on the Death Riders, Marina Shafir and company. You very well might be onto something there.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Mixed nuts match?
Yeah, mixed nuts match.
Can we stop saying that, please?
How do you not get a Planters sponsorship out of that?
Will you stop that, please? Please stop. Okay.
Or an Almond Joy advertisement, because Almond Joy's got nuts, Mounds don't.
Yeah, you need the Planters peanut to be a mascot out there during that match.
I mean, please stop. Please stop it. Stop it. There you go.
Well, all the men in the match can eat an Almond Joy, and then we can have Tony and Marina eating a Mound.
Right?
Oh, God. Stay tuned, folks, for more thoughts on all this.
Although I think Tony would eat the Almond Joy, though, just because she is.
Will you stop it? Stop it.
It wouldn't be the first time she had a mouthful of nuts.
Oh, my gosh. That's a Continental.
Continental? Are we shopping here, Noah? We're getting a Continental?
Is Jack Cartwheel in it?
As I was saying. Anyway, that's so much more, folks. We'll be on City Predicting coming tomorrow night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. Fuck these two.
Hey, I gotta get these jokes in now. I'm not gonna be able to be on Simply Predicting because I have to work. I'm not gonna be able to be here for the watch along for World's End because I gotta work. I gotta get my ha-has in now. I'm sorry that you've got me and Walter together who share a and are both punnier than hell. But it just is what it is, my friend.
Fair enough. You know what? To everything, it all just goes full circle. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit more, though, about the performances of the Continental Classic. Walter, you were shot since day one by Kyle Fletcher, who upset the Rainmaker. Now there's a chance that Okada get that redemption if our finals become Okada versus Fletcher. And, of course, Fletcher coming off a 0-2 deficit prior to the night. Really had to bring forward something tonight if he was going to continue forward in the Continental Classic. You're trying to push him, of course, as the men's world champion. Do you think he needs to win World's End to further cement that, or just getting to the finals could push him enough to be confident enough to go back after the title? I don't think necessarily he has to win the tournament, but I can see what you mean about a boost of confidence. So add more to your thought there.
I don't think he has to win, but it'd be a hell of a lot of. It'd be that the launching pad for it. I'm telling you, that Hangman rivalry, that match that he had, and everything he just went through this year. I'm telling you, Kyle, he's right there on the cuffs of being the leader of AEW and being that person that can carry it. Once the smoke clears onto who's gonna win the Samoa Joe match, and then the rivalry between Hangman and Swerve and MJF and everybody finishes, I think Kyle's the next one to step up. I really think he's on that launching pad. And by the time we get to maybe Revolution, Kyle might become champion, or maybe when they go back to London, maybe by then, some point in 2026, Kyle Fletcher is going to be AEW champion.
Oh, Jesus. All right, well, fair enough. When JJ talking about John Moxley wins, I mean, you figure about catapulting Kyle Fletcher, even if he doesn't win the tournament. Let's realize something here, guys. Kyle Fletcher is facing the most notorious AEW Men's World Champion in this company's history. Record-setting 4-time AEW Men's World Champion. Just beating Jon Moxley, who we know is going in here with a bad leg. After we saw Kyle Fletcher do to Jack Perry in that prone Achilles, there's a huge, huge chance for Kyle Fletcher to end this year with a massive win and also really put the Death Riders narrative into question again, much to JD's thoughts earlier. So we got to consider this. If you want Fletcher to win this, he's got to go through Jon Moxley first, which he's never had.
Dude, they could wait till August so that all the big major rivalries are done, right? Let's say Kyle wins it in London. Then the lights go out and freaking Will Ospreay returns. That'd be plenty of time for him to come back and just goes face to face with Fletcher again. Like, think about, and then they end the summer, we go into fall with those two nose to nose as Fletcher as the champion. Just imagine the pop that Will Ospreay would get coming back home at that time, which is more than, what is that, 7 months from now? That's more than enough time to recover, hopefully.
I'm about to say, let's be honest here. Anything can happen between here and now, and health is always up for debate, especially after a surgery to your freaking neck. Not to mention all in is in Wembley Stadium. But again, JJ, you're talking about Jon Moxley wins. It's a mistake. But at the end of the day, Kyle Fletcher hung with him and Adam Page for 40+ minutes in his first ever AEW Men's World Championship chance. Now he's facing Jon Moxley, former AEW Men's World Champion, in the Continental Classic semifinals, and Jon Moxley has been in the spot before. He won a 3-way in the semifinals, by the way, in the inaugural tournament to get to the finals. So even if Jon Moxley doesn't win the tournament, do you think Jon Moxley being Kyle Fletcher here would be a mistake?
Yes. Since we can't get Okada Takeshita finals, it has to be Fletcher and Takeshita.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and look
because
at the other
then it's two members of the Callis family going against each other.
Heel versus heel.
There's been a lot of focus on Okada and Takeshita in the storyline. There's been very little focus on Fletcher, and he's just kind of coasted through. So for Fletcher to overcome Moxley and Takeshita to overcome Okada, and then you've got a Callis family semifinal and final. First of all, what does that say for the Callis family?
Good Lord.
As much as everybody wants to hate on them, almost worse than the Death Riders. What does that say for the Callis family? You had a Callis family semi and final match. And then if Takeshita falls to Fletcher because the family betrays him after getting past Okada, nobody's really sad because Fletcher's getting his flowers. And the Protostar was basically recruit number 2 behind Takeshita.
That's true.
So for them to be the finals against each other almost is poetic.
Okay. But let's go ahead and look at Jon Moxley here real quick, though. Jon Moxley, like you said, he keeps talking about how he's trying to outrun today to make it to tomorrow. This man has literally survived his last 3 matches on a bad left leg. When you think he's vulnerable, he's won. Jon Moxley, again, has been the Death Rider, guiding this campaign of violence to make AEW better, work harder, don't be complacent, don't take this as a game, don't take this as a joke. And you look at the 4 men here in the semifinals at World's End. Not only did they earn it, these are 4 of the hardest working men in AEW, period. So what does it mean for Jon Moxley? How important is it for Jon Moxley? Thinking about not the scenario that could be bad for your outlook of the tournament. What does it mean for Jon Moxley to push through and try and win this? And what happens if he doesn't?
I think Moxley feels that he has to win to kind of, I don't want to say reclaim or solidify, because I don't really feel like he's fully lost control, but I'm going to use those terms here because I can't really think of anything better.
That's fair.
Like he almost has to, he feels he has to win because he may feel internally that his grip on the Death Riders has been slipping. ever since he lost the title to Hangman at All In Texas. And I think Mox internally almost feels that he has to win this to prove that he's not weak to Marina, Garcia, and Wheeler, and especially to Claudio and Pac.
Think of it like a pride of lions. Mox is that lion that's got to show that he's still the leader of the pack before someone can come. And some young lion comes and takes his spot and then takes over the pride.
That's fair. And again, Claudio and Pac were both in the Continental Classic, and tonight it was their undoing. Pac, of course, and Kevin Knight, who went to a 20-minute draw and only got 1 point, while Claudio, again, he got his jaw jacked by Roderick Strong, and that was his undoing. And your Christmas miracle for the Messiah of the Backbreaker to not end this thing completely goose egg. I also just want to give a shout out quick to everybody that performed the Continental Classic. A hell of a tournament brought by all. Darby Allin, again, wish him best of recovery. Now we know Darby Allin's going to take on Gabe Kidd. Lord help both those, man. Let's just go ahead and remind people what the final scores were again. Kazuchika Okada beat Speedball Mike Bailey, ended with 9. Speedball ended with 6. Kyle Fletcher was able to ascend to the block 2-9, as, of course, Kyle Fletcher was the runner-up in his block. Kevin Knight ended at 7, along with Pac, who also ended at 7 after they went to a draw. And Jungle Bat Prairie, of course, ended tonight at 0. While Konosuke Takeshita, supreme master of round robin tournaments this year, it seems, near perfect run with 13 points. Castagnoli again got jacked in the jar, ended at 7, while John Moxley cemented his second place spot at 9 points. Again, Kyle Fletcher was the top of the Gold League. He had the tiebreaker. John Moxley was the runner-up. Konosuke Takeshita was top of the Blue League. Kazuchika Okada was the runner-up. Roderick Strong, of course, ended with 3. Máscara Dorada ended at 6. And Fletcher Insurance Cassidy also ended at 6. But a hell of a tournament brought by everybody. As top seed Konosuke Takeshita takes on runner-up Kazuchika Okada. And, of course, top seed Kyle Fletcher takes on runner-up John Moxley. Again, folks, those 2 matches will culminate in determining our finals for this year's winner of the Continental Classic at AEW World's End this Saturday, exclusively on pay-per-view. If you're a professional wrestling fan, even if you can't buy a pay-per-view, damn it, we're fucking covering it. You don't want to miss what the outcome is, as it sets up so much for 2026. Will Kyle Fletcher be AEW Men's World Champion? Will John Moxley be suffocated and written off out of the death rush as far as we know? Will Kazuchika Okada or Konosuke Takeshita go into next week with momentum ahead of Wrestle Kingdom 20 in the Tokyo Dome, where one defends the IWGP Worldwide Championship, the other looks to end a man's career in his retirement match against his greatest rival? And so much more to come at AEW World's End. But what has been your thoughts on the Continental Classic? What are your predictions on these semifinals? Do you have a winner picked out? Do you have a dream final that you want to see? Do you believe you know what the final is going to be? We'd love to know your thoughts on the X, in the chat, or in the comments down below as we conclude. Again, stay tuned with Cindy predicting AEW Worlds, and it'll be tomorrow night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Friday Night Live. Me and a gaggle of fools and friends and all elite fans simply predicting the final period of the calendar year. The forum will be live some point later on Friday. I'll be sure to send it to you both prior, of course. And again, we'll be back Saturday covering AEW World's End. It sounds like at least me and Walter stay tuned to see who else might join the fray. Might be special change out during matches. I don't know, because again, I sure as fucking calling this pay-per-view. And thank you, by the way, to those that follow me, Walter, JJ, even Nick with his madness during our entire coverage of the Continental Classic campaign. Honestly, if this becomes an annual tradition, I am all in on it, because I've had a hell of a fun time along this unpredictable ride, and I can't wait to see how it concludes. But for now, I think we'll bid everybody a fine adieu. Thank you for tuning into this first ever All the Post Show, by the way. Would you like to see more of these simple post shows following special calls, whether it's pay-per-views, tournaments, or other things that we do? Let us know in the comments down below. We are here for you because, again, you guys allowed the passion to continue to persist and pursue. But that being said, I've said more than enough, so I'm going to bid y'all now a fine adieu. We're not going to plug like maniacs, because we already did that. So now this is truly where my stick comes in. For the Renegade Wrestling JJ Williams, the living embodiment of Christmas spirit, for the Renegade, for Mr. Reliable Walter Cruz, for all of you, I'm the Superman Noah Foster, reminding all of you to make a positive impact in life. Merry Christmas to all, as it's about to conclude. And until next time, have a good night. One of you cut the fucking feed.